Glad you could join us here tonight from Aggie Memorial Stadium on homecoming. Adam Young along with former Aggie Danny Nee. 7-0 Flames after a very impressive scoring drive to start things. And we'll take a look here at the two QBs today. Stephen Buckshot Calvert's and Josh Adkins. Couldn't be a whole lot more different. Calvert's a veteran, Adkins a youngster. Both guys playing well, though, as of late, Danny.
Yeah, you know, if you look at the comparison, they're both playing very well right now. Buckshot has a lot of games under his belt, a lot of maturity, and that should help Josh when he starts to play a little bit more.
He's without his star running back, and Torrey Matthews is out with a lower body injury. Two of his wide receivers, Kevin Shaw and Damian King, are also missing today. Here is Peyton Pickett, who is swallowed up by Javon Ferguson and Leon McQuaker, a pair of Aggie linebackers.
Yeah, Javon is coming off a game where UTEP, where he was everywhere. Look where he sees that play developing, and it's a downhill tackle, which they like, and he comes screaming in there. He's as tough as it gets in the middle there, no doubt.
Empty backfield for Buckshot Calvert on 2nd down and 10. The Aggies show heavy pressure. He gets it out quickly again to DJ Stubbs, who now has 4 receptions. And there you see the quick release for the quarterback, Calvert.
Yeah, he got it out very quickly there. And the other thing that we saw is like some moves. We see some moves after the catch and some bad tackling on the Aggies right here. You see it. Official gets in the way, but so what? You still have to make that tackle run, and then he misses, and Shmad Lomax was there to help clean it up. But, man, those are the ones we got to get quickly.
Flames get 19 yards on the pass and catch. It is Pickett again with Calvert in the backfield. They fake the handoff to him. Pressure from behind, ball is loose. Scooped up by Roy Lopez with the fumble recovery, his second this year.
Man, Roy Lopez is a stud and a half. He comes around there, but, you know, he's not the only one. And that defensive line, man, they did such a great job. You know, I had a great chance to talk to their coach. There he is right there. Talked to his coach prior to this game, Coach Mumford, and we'll talk about that later. But look at the rush that comes in there. Lots of big push right there. Come off the edge. I think that's McQuaker. I think Roy was going to pick that up and take it to the house, wasn't he? He was sure trying.
Sure looked that way,
love
didn't it,
man. Great pressure right there.
Great field position here for the Aggies at the 24 of Liberty, trailing 7-0. Adkins will keep it. Fake the handoff to Christian Gibson. He's pretty mobile, Danny. He moves pretty well, similar to Matt Romero, who was the starter to start the year.
Yeah, he's very mobile, and by the way, he's very tough. He will run right over you. He's a big kid. There's just nothing he could do with that one right there. I think there was a draw all the way on that.
Jonathan Boone and Anthony Muse, bottom side of your screen. Two guys who do not have a reception so far today. Now Muse has one as he catches it inside the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Aggies.
Hey, Adam, nice call on that. Did you see that one coming or what?
I sure did.
Yeah, that's nice. Right down the seam. So look at him come right down the seam. Little play action pass. It was straight up the seam there in a zone, and he finds that little seam in that zone that's wide open. Great catch right there. Great pass, too.
First and goal for the Aggies from the 3-yard line. Watch out for the tight end, Bryce Roberts, here on this play. Rolling it right is Atkins. He throws for Roberts, incomplete. Atkins was under some heavy pressure from linebacker Salomon Ajayi.
You know what? I think he had him, too. It was there. He just needed like one more half a second. Bryce was trying to sneak out. The problem with it being, 6'4", 268, there's no sneaking around. So he was trying to sneak back through some of those defensive backs, and it just didn't happen. But he was there for just a second. Little play action. You can kind of see it right to the left of your screen. Nothing there. Here we go.
Right up the guts. No signal yet. Xander Yarborough signals for the Aggies. And they're going to mark him just short.
Wow, that had to be very, very close. I didn't see that. Again, you're going to give Gibson the ball and just shove it up the middle. Let's go right up the gut, see what happens.
Here's Gibson. Dances his way towards the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Aggies.
I like the tenacity of Gibson and the confidence that Coach brings with giving him the ball. It said, look, he had great yardage. He's the man. He is running so hard. Give your best back over your best blocker the ball, and let's go play football. That's that physicality Coach was talking about, Adam. I think that's it right there, and he's going to enjoy that. Nice. You can kind of see it right here. Great blocking right there. Pull a tight end coming across there, and it's Gibson all the way.
The Aggies went with a 2 tight end set right there. Yarborough and Roberts were both in. That is the first career rushing touchdown for defensive back turned running back. The young man from Dallas, a senior who has stuck with the plan the entire way. runs it in from 1 yard away. Christian Gibson and the Aggies tie it up at 7. A 1-yard touchdown run for Christian Gibson, his first career touchdown after it was set up by a fumble recovery by Roy Lopez, his second this year. And Danny, the Aggies now have 6 fumble recoveries in the previous 5 games, and you talked to the D-line coach, John Mumford, earlier this week.
Oh, we had a great visit, and he talked about his guys, and I asked him about the personality. And he said, every team is different. That's what all the coaches say, and it's true, they all are. But I said, tell me about some of your players. Tell me about Roy Lopez, and he had nothing but praise about all of his guys. He said Roy Lopez is tenacious. He never gives up, and he's always there. We saw that. He said Lloyd is coming on big and strong. Lloyd had a great game at UTEP, and he just thinks this group up front is really doing well, and they're just getting better and better. And so from UTEP to this game, I can see the improvement, and it's just going to continue on. And so he's going to have to really keep that pressure on Liberty in order to do it. But he's a great coach and a great guy. Great visit.
He's really been around. He's been at Army. He was the head coach for a while at Southeast Missouri State and Cape Girardeau, Missouri, which is an FCS school. And now the Aggies are lucky to have him here at New Mexico State. 7-7 with 6:51 remaining here in the opening quarter. The Aggies getting some takeaways again, leading to points. The defense scored a touchdown last game against UTEP, 2 games ago against UNM. They helped lead a touchdown on the previous drive. And we'll get a touchback after a knee is taken by Seneca Espinoza Jr. So first down and 10 for Buckshot Calvert and the Flames offense from the 25-yard line. Now, Danny, the Aggie defense, when you look at the points, they've allowed 40 per game this year. But that's a little skewed. The offense early on this year put the defense in some really tough spots.
Yep.
And they have forced a ton of turnovers, which is huge for the offense.
Coach Spaziani, when I spoke with him, said, we're playing better. We've had some plays that got away from us at UTEP that we needed to clean up. But, the consistency is the other thing that these coaches are looking for on the defensive side. So you had a great series last time. What about this time?
And off to Frankie Hickson. He is smothered by Ray Buford Jr., a cornerback for the Aggies, a transfer from Minnesota and Independence Community College.
So Spaziani called it upwards. Let's bring in pressure from the cornerback this time. Ray Buford from a corner position came screaming in to cut that off and help with that tackle. So I like that. Coach Spaziani is going to have his hands full this game for sure.
Right back to the ground again. Plunging forward is Hickson. And it's going to bring up a third down for Liberty as he picks up 2. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Flames, who average 31 points per game.
In that last play, we saw Cedric Wilcox really pushing good penetration on that defensive line. That's just going to be a battle up front there. And you win that defensive line, you have a good chance of winning the game.
Heavy pressure from the Aggies and Wilcox, and it's dropped by Stubbs. It was a forward pass, though. The Aggies were hoping it was a backward pass, and it was a loose ball for a fumble, but it's just going to be incomplete. And the Flames will have to punt it away.
That was a great call right there, and I thought it was for sure going to be a little play action to the right and then dumped it quickly off there. I thought they were going to go to Gandy Golden on the outside there because he was in one-on-one coverage.
Could you tell, Danny, did Wilcox beat his man that bad, or was he not defended?
I don't know. He's been playing.
He was at the quarterback quickly.
Yeah.
Aiden Alves with a boot. Backpedaling is O.J. Clark. Friendly bounce for Liberty. This is going to be a boomer for Aiden Alves. The Dillsburg, Pennsylvania native who's only averaging 34 yards per punt. Booms one and pins the Aggies deep into their own territory. What a punt.
During the kick, holding, offense, number 47. That 10-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the kick. Timeout.
Now there is a flag on the play, so it won't be as good as it was, but still a really good punt for the redshirt freshman Alves. Atkins and the Aggie offense back to work when we come back. 22-yard touchdown run for Frankie Hickson, the running back for the Flames, and a 1-yard touchdown run for Aggie senior Christian Gibson. We are tied at 7 here on homecoming in Las Cruces. Both teams looking to make it 2 straight wins. Let's take a look at the team comparison. The Aggies come in 1-4. Liberty comes in 2-2. There you see the Aggies only averaging 16 points per game. Liberty averaging 31 per game. Passing yards heavily in favor of Liberty. And as far as opponents' points per game, the Aggies allowing 40. Liberty allowing a lot recently. In the previous 3 games, they're allowing 43 per game. Adkins will throw again a screen pass that is successful again to Isaiah Lottie. And this goes back to the open week of practice, Danny, when Doug Martin said we have to be more physical. That means wide receivers aren't blocking assignments as well.
I totally agree with you, Adam, and you're right. I think he said, when he was talking about the physicality, he wasn't just saying it's going to be the linemen. He was talking about running backs. He was talking about receivers. He was saying we got to play harder, go get the ball, get extra yardage, and that's what you can see there.
Gamble pass right there in a triple coverage. Adkins was looking for the top receiver as far as yards and catches this year, Jonathan Boone, and he's probably fortunate that wasn't picked off.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he got that ball a little bit lower, Adam. You think he would have completed that? That was a little bit high, kind of drifted on him just a bit.
3rd down and 5 yards. The Aggies need the 29-yard line. Lottie's in motion. Dump off. Space for Jason Huntley. And he's going to move the chains. 1st down for the Aggies.
The nice thing about having 3 running backs that you can do a lot with, right here, a little kind of bubble screen, quick toss right out to outside there and says, go get the yardage. Nice that Huntley knew how many yards he needed before he steps out of bounds. Great little call right there.
Adkins will drop back and throw on 1st down. He's going deep, and he overshoots him.
He had him.
He had him. That was intended for Jonathan Boone. Once again, the main target this year for the Aggies.
Yeah, Jonathan Boone had run inside, and so he had good position for receiving that ball on the inside. So he threw it to the right side of Jonathan Boone. It just got out of his hand too much there.
Jeremy Peters was there in coverage. Right back to the ground, and Christian Gibson, and the Aggies will have 3rd down and long upcoming.
Now, the 3rd and long, we talked about, Adam, you and I have talked before about third down conversions. And, the 3rd down conversions, it helps when you have positive yardage on the 1st and 2nd. So that's where it's easier for this 3rd down. Now you get a little longer 3rd down like we have now. Now you have to throw the ball, and so it leaves you less plays to call.
The Aggies need the 36-yard line. Pressure, Adkins overthrows Anthony Muse, and he also overthrows cornerback Jeremy Peters.
I think that's the best thing right there, that he overthrew everybody because there was nothing happening. He saw the coverage. I like that he picked it up immediately, got out of the pocket running, but there was just nowhere to go. Everyone was covered again.
After a couple of good drives for the Aggies, one of them was empty, the other one was a 1-yard touchdown run. The worst drive so far tonight for the Aggies comes here in their 3rd offensive series. Theisler will punt it away. Boy, has he had a good year, and this is a good one. It's DJ Stubbs backpedaling inside his own 20. He gets by Drew Dan to the 25, to the 30. And he's taken down from behind by Billy Knibb, who is everywhere on defense and on special teams.
Yeah, nice Billy Knibb getting in the tackle there on that one. That's a great punt, and we just got to figure out a way to make the tackle as soon as they catch the ball, because he booted the crap out of that thing. That was just a boomer, but we still gave him a little room to work there.
Here's a look at the 2 head coaches for this one, Doug Martin and Turner Gill. And it was really cool this week to listen to the 2 head coaches have so much praise and mutual respect for the other in their press conferences earlier this week. Fake the handoff pass is batted away. Using his long arms is Shane Jackson, who's filling in for Malik Demby at the money position. Demby's out with a stinger again, and Jackson's playing well.
Yeah, you see that arm just go up there and slap that thing right out of the air.
Turner Gill, former head coach at Buffalo and KU. Doug Martin was at Kent State. Two guys know each other well from the Mid-American Conference days. And, of course, Turner Gill was a quarterback at Nebraska, and Doug Martin was a quarterback at Kentucky. Pass is complete to Antonio Gandy Golden, who has a couple of crimson jerseys hanging on to him. Gandy Golden, his second catch today, this one for 18 yards.
Yeah, that's just, you get this one-on-one coverage we talked about where they were isolated, and they did, and they just come in with a little quick slant and then had good position and was able to make that catch easy.
There's a pistol look for the Flames. Straight up the gut is Frankie Hickson. We've seen Hickson and Peyton Pickett split the carries so far, with number 1 running back and Torrey Matthews out for a second straight game with a lower body injury. Hickson only got 2 yards, so it's second down and 8 for Liberty. 2 independents going at it here today. Right back to Hickson, who cuts back to his left. My goodness. How about those shimmies there for Hickson, the redshirt junior? Yeah,
that's nice right there. That's good running to just get your feet up and not let them trip you up there. And we were in a position where he had to just get an ankle tackle here, and so we got lots of penetration, but he just kind of cut through everyone, and we missed a few tackles there, and those are the ones that hurt a little bit.
Hickson got a dozen, 7 carries for 52 yards so far for Hickson, who had 2 touchdowns in the win last week at New Mexico. Fullback Mitchell Lewis is to the left of Buckshot Calvert, the quarterback. He pump fakes and throws behind his intended receiver, B.J. Farrow, who he hasn't targeted much so far today, but there is a flag down in the backfield.
Holding, offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
Second penalty today for Liberty, this one a hold on the offensive line.
I think he felt that pressure coming right away. How about how fast he got the ball out of his hands? It was just bing, gone.
We've talked a lot about penalties this year with the Aggies. They've committed 23 in their previous 2 games, and in order to have success, you need to clean it up. So far, just 2 on the Aggies and 2 on the Flames. Peyton Pickett, the running back. Pickett is taken down from behind by Leon McQuaker. Looks like Jusavia Reese was right there as well for the Aggies, and Ron LaForce was in there late.
You know, Pickett had 2 TDs himself. We talked about Hickson being a threat. Certainly Pickett is also a threat there. He had 2 last week. There's Javon kind of getting leverage, holding his ground, and then Ron LaForce sticking his head in there and jumping in that tackle.
Liberty's averaging 4.9 yards per carry tonight, but last week they only averaged 2.2 yards per rush. They're only averaging 3.1 per rush in the previous 3 games. A bunched formation for Stephen Buckshot Calvert, the quarterback. To his left is Pickett. The tight end Fouts is in as well. They go to Hickson, check that Pickett, and he is stuffed. Lowering his head was Billy Knipp, the linebacker.
Billy Knipp jumping in there, making one. He's got a lot of playing time this year. I really like that. Great family. Had a chance to visit with their family. We were at the bowl game last week. And so great folks all the way around there. Billy Knipp pitching in everywhere he can. You saw Javon Ferguson and the whole team come screaming in there. I like the physical play, Adam. Good physical play.
3rd down and a mile. 3rd and 15 for Liberty. Line to gain is the 25-yard line. They're at the 40. The Aggies show pressure. Great tackle for loss by Leon McQuaker.
Well, did McQuaker see that coming the whole way? He's playing, throwback screen coming back his way. Fake, quick dump off right there. And McQuaker is all over that. He read that thing, shimmied underneath the block, and made a great tackle right there.
Loss of 4 yards. The Aggies had 10 tackles for loss in the 27-20 win against UTEP 2 weeks ago. And this will lead to a punt from Aiden Alvis. It might have been hit, yep. Flag is down. Will it be roughing the kicker or running into the kicker? We will see.
Running into the kicker, defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay 4th down.
Now, if that would have been roughing the kicker, it would have been an automatic first down, but it's running into the kicker, so...
It's got a little break there, didn't we?
The Aggies caught a break.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell if he got there or not to the ball or not, but let's see. This is what happens with... you just be aggressive sometimes, Adams, and there's just a break. Has Jonathan Hood there and just couldn't quite put the brakes on.
That's a huge call right there. Like we said, if it's roughing the kicker, you get a first down, but it's only running into the kicker, so... A repunt for the redshirt freshman Elvis in Liberty. O.J. Clark is barking orders back deep for the Aggies, trying to make sure there's no fake during this scenario. Elvis pooches it a little bit. Fair catch is called for and handled inside the 15-yard line by O.J. Clark. Well, 7-7 here in the first quarter, 9 seconds remaining. What are your overall thoughts on this first quarter so far, Danny?
It's been an up and down kind of first quarter, right? So if you get one has a little momentum on that first series. Liberty clearly had it. Have a comeback. We have a good stop on defense, and then the Aggies get a little momentum. And so it's just been going back and forth. So I think it's an even competition to this point.
Jason Huntley, the Aggie running back. Adkins will keep it again, and Liberty not fooled. Juwan Wells was there, and so was linebacker Brandon Tillman. And that'll be the end of one quarter. 7-7 early score for Frankie Hickson on a touchdown run of 22.
Timeout.
And midway through the first quarter, a touchdown run for Christian Gibson, his first as an Aggie. 7-7 through one on homecoming. We have played one quarter tonight here in the land of enchantment. 7-7 is our score as we get ready for the start of quarter number 2. A lot of alums in town this weekend for homecoming, and we spoke to one of those alums earlier this week, the current senior VP of basketball operations for the Washington Wizards. His name is Tommy Shepard, and he talked about his role in the NBA.
I'm the Senior Vice President of Basketball Operations. In the NBA, the only title that matters is the one Golden State has. That's all we care about, is just trying to win games. So my job is to manage the day-to-day of the basketball operations. That's from scouting, that's the medical, that's hiring and firing coaches, it's whatever is asked of us. But my job ultimately is to problem solve and to try to produce as many victories on the floor as possible and as healthy bodies off the floor as possible.
Well, it was good to catch up with Tommy earlier this week, an Aggie football alum. Played for the Aggies in the early 90s. He's a 91 alum doing big things now with the Washington Wizards. Passing on third down is Atkins. He finds O.J. Clark, who makes a move, and that is a move good enough for a first down.
You know, O.J. Clark, I've been waiting for him just to come on and just really just explode on the scene right there. Is why I think, man, they're ready to go at any time right here. He could have had the end right there maybe, but he brought it back on the inside. And the thing is, he just didn't quit with that. He went to get extra yardage to hang on the football. He's a tough receiver, like the physicality again.
Clark got 20, first down and 10, rolling left and throwing deep is Josh Atkins. And he overthrows Jonathan Boone, who he's looked for deep twice here in this game tonight.
You know, a couple of those, I think that's where, you know, he's just going to have a little more experience at him, because I think he had him lead him to the inside. I know that they're close, they're side by side, but he had position on him where if you lead him to the inside, he could have made that play and held off the defense.
I'll tell you one thing that Atkins is doing a good job of today is spreading the wealth. Lottie has a catch, so does Muse, Clark, Huntley, Dan, Caldwell, and Roberts. A lot of guys getting into the act. It might have been a backward pass to running back Jason Huntley. And it's going to bring up third down and 10 for the Aggies.
Yeah, you can see Jason's not too happy about that. I thought if he felt like he could get the ball to him quicker and let him make a play, make it right away, he did try to get it out, and it just led him too far. Yeah, is some of that, do you think Josh kind of just needs to relax a little bit in the pocket?
Could
I know
be.
There's a lot going on,
yeah.
But I think if he just, a couple of those passes, he could complete them. He's very, very talented quarterback.
He's getting some time today. The O-line doing a pretty good job up front. Atkins has time again across the middle. Spinning is Lottie, and the spin move might have got him the first down. I think if he gets hit right away, he doesn't get it. He spins and he gets the first.
You know, so much from the first game to this game where you see the receivers getting into the action, balls not being dropped, right? And not only that, but they're getting extra yards after the catch, and that makes a big difference.
Swinging out quickly, screen pass for Anthony Muse, who had the football jarred loose. Out of bounds, though. And it's going to be second down after the catch by Muse, who might have been a little bit shaken up right there. Muse has battled some small injuries this year, but he's always out there every week. And here's a flag. Once again, our referee is Kevin Hassel.
Ball start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty.
This one is on Tony Bello, Danny, who is the new right guard this week. He's in for Sebastian Anderson. Hasn't played much collegiately, and that's his first mistake up front.
Yeah, that's tough right there. That's 2 false starts for the Aggies. And I know he hadn't had a lot of time yet, but you know the timing of some of these things are very critical.
Bello, a young man from Denver, redshirt junior, 6'4", 290. Played in 6 games last year, only 2 games 2 years ago. Time again for Josh Atkins, streaking around for Drew Dan, who gets past the original line of scrimmage. It's about 5 or 6. And it's going to be third down and long for this Aggie offense in a tie score.
Yeah, you know, Liberty plays that defense where they're just not going to give you the big one. They're just going to sit back here. You got everyone cut up front, and they're going to just let you catch it underneath because you needed 14 yards. You weren't going to probably get it, and there was plenty of coverage on the backside once he caught it to come in there and shut him down.
Third down and 9 for Atkins and the Aggies. Good job by the O-line again. Pass is incomplete, intended for Drew Dan. Coverage from cornerback Bajor Wilson.
You know, I think Will saw that play coming his way all day long, and he had great coverage. That was great coverage, and he was back there. He looked at him, stared at him the whole time. It's just great defense, and nothing you can do with that.
And here's punt number 3 from Peyton Theisler today, who's averaging 43 yards per punt tonight, which is right at his season average of 43. B.J. Farrow back deep for Liberty. Not a great one there from Theisler, and it looks like Liberty will start at the 30-yard line.
Ouch. You know, those are tough. That's a tough job right there that the coaches are saying, hey, can you just drop that in on the 10 automatically? And it's very difficult to do. In that case, it didn't quite get as deep as he was looking there, but see if the defense can stick their heels in the ground and hold them.
And this defense, Danny, has been able to show pressure and get to the quarterback, Howler. We'll see if they can here on this possession. Delayed handoff to Frankie Hickson, catches the Aggies off guard, and Hickson gets 11 across the 40.
You know, he got to that second and third level in a hurry where our linebackers got pinned in on the blocking, so you can see it here where Javon Ferguson sees what's happening. He over-pursued. He tried to get back, but just get caught in that garbage, and then Ron LaForce had to come in and help out.
Right back to Hickson again, who bounces out to the edge. He is wrestled down by LaForce. He's been active again. Our defense for the Aggies. 5-yard gain. So far in this series, Liberty just pounding the football on the ground. Why change anything? Here's Hickson again. This time he swallowed up early. Roy Lopez was in on the tackle. Javon Ferguson was right around there again.
And Billy Knipp jumping in as well. So that was a great defense stand right there. Let's see if they can hold on third here.
They're down in 4. Liberty on third down today, 1 of 3. Looks like Calvert might be changing the play. 3 down linemen for the Aggies. They pressure with 4. Calvert underneath, batted away. That is an outstanding defensive play by the linebacker, Javon Ferguson.
Yeah, that's great play right there. And so we saw a little chess match there, right? So the defense comes up, sets up. Liberty sees what they're doing and says, let's change the play. So he comes back to change the play. Spaziani changes the defense to try to get to the quarterback. Doesn't quite get there. But all in all, as long as Javon Ferguson plays as tough as he did, knocks it down, good stuff.
I don't think anybody can match the passion and the effort that Javon Ferguson brings to the table every day.
Oh, I love it. I love watching the game against UTEP. Man, he was just a wrecking ball.
Here's a punt by the left-footed punter, Aiden Alvis. Back deep is Clark, and that one will go out of bounds. So the Aggies will get pretty good field position. First it was a Theisler punt, now it's an Alvis punt, and the Aggies will have it right around the 30-yard line as well. Josh Atkins, redshirt freshman quarterback, will lead the Aggie offense after these words. Beautiful night here in Las Cruces, New Mexico. The Aggies back home after a road game at UTEP 2 weeks ago. Liberty back in New Mexico for the second straight week, which is bizarre. Liberty played at New Mexico last week, went back home, about a 3.5-hour flight. They came back to New Mexico this week to play the Aggies, and they are not close. They are in Lynchburg, Virginia, which is nearly 2,000 miles away from Las Cruces. This is a first-year FBS program that spent 30 years at the FCS level with a lot of success. They're coming off 12 straight winning seasons, and this is a really, really good football program that will make a name for themselves at the FBS level. Aggies are on offense at the 29-yard line. Adam Young, Danny Nee with you. Glad you could join us here today. To the sideline, Shea Holbrook makes the catch. Good to see him get in on the act.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I like the catch. I like the throw, too. That was a nice, calm throw right to the outside. He's got one little spot to put it in right there. Keep it to the outside. He does. They gave him a little room, and nice catch. Nice run.
He's got the size that former Aggie Julio Scott had at about 6'4", 6'5". Moves the chain, so first down again. Sideline pass to Jason Huntley, and he can't get out of the ankle tackle from Seneca Espinoza Jr.
Well, it's a good thing he made that shoestring tackle right there, because if not, we know he can take that to the house. But they were sitting back on that waiting. You know, it's one of those things where you see these running back bars come out of the backfield or line up in a slot position. You want to make sure you get to them right away and not give them a chance to open those jets up.
The Aggies throwing the ball a ton. 12 of 20 for Josh Atkins. A carry here for Jason Huntley. And for Jason Huntley, Deanie, that is his first carry today. Atkins has 3, Gibson 4. That's the first for Huntley.
You know, I kind of like the way all 3 running backs, where you talk about Jason Huntley, Royce Caldwell, and Christian Gibson, they're different runners, different styles, and I think they all complement each other. And I think they run very hard, and they're all very, very gifted athletes.
Huntley leads the Aggies with 50 carries now this year. Lofting a pass deep. He has his man incomplete. Drew Dan was wide open.
Timing, right? It looked like he was open, but it looks like Josh wanted him to kind of fade back a little bit. He sees what's going on out there, the one-on-one. He has him, and he just wanted him to go back towards the sidelines, and it just didn't happen.
Bajor Wilson was back there, so was Chappelle Morris, a strong safety for Liberty. So we have ourselves a defensive tussle. It's 7-7. Under 10 left here in the first half. The fourth punt for Peyton Theisler, and this one isn't good either. Theisler really having some struggles and takes a bad Aggie bounce. It is finally touched. And it's going to be good field position again for Liberty. Uncharacteristic of Theisler, the junior for Phoenix, who has been phenomenal in his 2 years with the Aggies. Good field position for Liberty when we come back. Well, that last punt for Peyton Theisler, officially only 19 yards, and he's only averaging 32 per punt today. This is usually a big strength for the Aggies, Danny, that punting game, and Theisler struggled.
Yeah, you know, in the early part of the season, we saw him really boot some, but these 2 punts that are kind of short really didn't flip the position. So really, we gave back the field position to Liberty, which is, we'll see how that plays out here.
And this is a good Liberty offense that has an advantage during this series. Stephen Buckshot Calvert, the quarterback, still has the football. He is rifling it very deep, looking for DJ Stubbs. And he overthrows him by a few yards. Stubbs, a burner, the slot receiver for Liberty.
Well, he put the Jets there on there, didn't he? Seems like both quarterbacks are really, just not quite in sync there. That was a long throw there. Had the position on it. He just came streaming right down the field and was just sprint straight away the whole time and just ran past Ron. And, of course, the ball was overthrown as well. Kind of helped us out there.
2nd down and 10. We'll get to the story on why Stephen Calvert has the name Buckshot after this run right here, which is a big one for Frankie Hickson. So Stephen Calvert, his middle name is Buckshot. He's named after Buckshot Jones, the favorite NASCAR driver of his father, Steve. Now, his father, Steve, wanted to name him Buckshot for the first name. But he, along with his wife and Stephen's mother, they had to compromise and go with the middle name, but it's turned into the name everybody calls him, Buckshot Calvert. So it's stuck. Stephen Buckshot Calvert out of Plantation, Florida.
What was that?
Right back to Hickson, waiting for a block, doesn't find one. Roy Lopez, one of many on the tackle for the Aggies.
That's good stuff right there. They were pouring in there. They get big, open, gaping holes, and then all of a sudden you have nothing there. And so part of that is, some scheming that Spaziani had to put together on defense to help kind of keep everyone off balance in there. But, Roy Lopez, we can't say enough great things about Roy Lopez. Playing a great game again.
2nd down and 10 for Liberty. They're averaging, by the way, 5.3 per rush. That won't help. It's a low snap, too, so Calvert had to handle it down by his ankles. And 3rd down and long now, 3rd down 9 for Liberty.
Great penetration on that defensive line. That's really what's causing a lot of that hurry up, kind of not quite in sync on that. So it was good push up front there and nothing happening. Closed quickly by the linebackers. Now we got to hold them on 3rd.
DJ Farrow, star receiver for Liberty, bottom side of your screen. Top side, 3 wide receivers. Farrow does not have a catch yet tonight. 4 out wide on 3rd down and 9 for Calvert and Liberty. And the play is blown dead. And we get a timeout called.
Snapped.
Yep.
New Mexico State calls their first timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout, 30 seconds in length.
Timeout called right before the play. It's called by New Mexico State. That I assume is called because they did not like the look. And Oliver Sukup, linebackers coach and assistant head coach, will talk to the defense.
Adam, more than I don't know if they thought the play that they had called in there from the offense was something they lined up correctly on from a defense standpoint. That looked like there was some confusion on the top of the screen. There were 3 receivers, and you had 2 guys out there for the Aggies, but there was not a third, so people were calling for folks to kind of move around, and it's just chaos. And so sometimes coaches can see that this isn't going. I can just feel bad things happening. Let's just call timeout and stop right here and get a reset. And I think that's what he's doing here, and that's a good call.
After the game tonight, check out all the post-game reaction, nmstatesports.com. You can also find the Aggies on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, everything. Just search NM State Aggies. Big 3rd down, 9 yards. The Aggie defense has been able to stand tall so far in the first half against a good Liberty offense. Rolling right, Calvert, chased by Wilcox and Miles Veen. The pass is incomplete. He was looking for DJ Stubbs, and Veen was right there, and so was Wilcox chasing down Calvert.
And all of that, again, starts at him with that defensive line up front, pressuring him out of the pocket where he's on the run. And then you've had great coverage in the secondary as well, but it makes it hard to complete a pass on that. And you can kind of see here the push up front there comes Roy Lopez. We got guys, Lloyd on the side. There's Lloyd there. Cedric was chasing him down. Just not a lot he could do with the ball.
I feel like we have seen Wilcox, number 10 in Crimson, chasing down Calvert the entire game.
Yeah, he's had great penetration.
A little pooch kick here for Aiden Alvis. And this one is in the end zone. So the Aggies catch a break. They will have it at the 20-yard line And we will head to break. We have ourselves a defensive battle. 124 yards of total offense for the Aggies, 162 for Liberty. We are deadlocked at 7 and change left. First half in Las Cruces. A matchup of two independents for the first two times this year. This one in Las Cruces, November 24th, will be played in Virginia. The first time that two FBS programs have played twice in the same season. This is going to happen again next year as well. It's the life of an independent as we know it, and here we see a look at some of the other independents. You have Army, you have BYU, Liberty, NM State, Notre Dame, and UMass. Now, it's a little different, Danny, for Army, BYU, Notre Dame, as opposed to New Mexico State in Liberty. Liberty's new to FBS. The Aggies would love to be in a conference right now. Notre Dame's content with being independent, but it's a little different for the Aggies.
I think wherever Notre Dame shows up, they have a following. Same with Brigham Young, right? Wherever they go, there's a great following there.
4 meetings in about 14 months for the Aggies and the Flames. They're going to know each other very, very well here in the next year or so. A lot of pass attempts so far today for Josh Atkins. This is the biggest offensive pass of the day as he completes it to O.J. Clark to move the chains.
Nice little skinny post there. We're going to get a little tempo now, but Isaac Steele, the safety, kind of played off, and he's playing a little deep in there. So right up the seam, O.J. goes, and he dumps that right over the backers in front of Steele. Great catch. Nice big chunk right there.
23-yard connection. O.J. Clark has been busy today. He's busy again as he hauls in the pass from Josh Atkins. So Josh Atkins now 16 of 25 for almost 150 yards. He's quietly having a pretty good game.
Yeah, he's sneaking up in there. You know, he missed some passes early, but now he's coming alive right here. Comes out, gets the ball out of his hand quickly to O.J. Clark. Get him in the open and let him make some yards.
Second down and short for the Aggies. Atkins rifles it far side. O.J. Clark again. One-on-one over there with Isaac Steele. It's been the O.J. Clark show in the last couple of minutes.
And you know, Isaac Steele's no slouch. Last week he had 2 interceptions, so they're out there playing a little soft coverage right now. Not as much as an in-your-face man coverage. They're back a little bit, and they're taking advantage of it. It just says, let's just get out, and a nice quick out, get the ball to him quickly, and let him go do something.
Now to the ground, big hole, Christian Gibson across the 15-yard line as he barrels over Isaac Steele.
I have to tell you, being a former free safety, the last thing you want to see is a running back with a full head of steam and you're not moving. And if you're not moving and he's coming right at you, someone is going to get run over. And Gibson, although he stood his ground nicely there, but Gibson was going nowhere but right over top.
You know, it's good when you have to wait for the chains to move. The chains finally move, and the Aggies run it on first down and 10, right back to Gibson, who's had the bulk of the carries today. Gibson with 6 carries. Outside of him, in the backfield, only 1 other carry. That was Jason Huntley, none for Caldwell.
Hey, it's important to get a score here, not walk away with 3. You got to get it in the end zone.
Second down and 7 from the 10. Atkins completes the pass. Boone stays on his feet, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. And the Aggies will have a big play upcoming.
So Josh keeping the play alive with his feet that time. Lots of pressure on him. He rolls out. He did really well. Nice, confident, calm, nice delivery on the throw there.
Third down for the Aggies. Atkins underneath. It is caught for a touchdown. Anthony Muse, his first touchdown this year.
You know, Adam, he's got one place to put that ball, and it's got to be in front, leading the receiver. Looks like double coverage almost on him. He had one behind him. He had one underneath Anthony Muse. He waited for Anthony Muse to break open, so he had to get past those 2 defenders and then lead him. And if you miss, you want to make sure you miss to the left, to the top of it. And that was just a great pass right there and a great catch.
And Muse beat a good one, too, Elijah Benton. An extra point is good for Dylan Brown. So the Aggies take their first lead today, 14-7. Josh Atkins, Danny, how about these numbers? 19 of 28, 166, 1 touchdown, no mistakes.
I like it, and the thing that I like about it is that he came out here, there was 1 run, but the rest it was, Josh, we're going to put you in a position where you're going to have to make some plays throwing the ball, and he didn't back down, and he was confident and marched him right down the field.
Let's put your player hat on, too, here, Danny, because I was talking to Coach Martin about this earlier this week, and I said to Coach, is there something to be said about just being a winner? Josh Atkins has been a winner everywhere he's been. Your thoughts on being a winner previously and what that can do for you and the team's confidence?
Well, I think when you're at a quarterback position, you have to feel like you're a winner and confident and let bad things just roll off your back, and you got to step up and keep running down and doing the things that you know are right, and then with conviction that you're going to get it done. That's that winner attitude. And here's what happens with a winner attitude. Everyone around you starts to believe it. So all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you know what? We are pretty good. And you know what? I can make those catches. And now you got receivers making plays, trying to do more for the quarterback. And the quarterback saying, together we can do this. I like it. I love it.
Well, that was the best offensive series we've seen so far today for the Aggies for sure, probably for either team as well. It's going to be a touchback, and Liberty will have it at the 25-yard line and striking the Wonder Dog. Revs up the crowd here on homecoming. 7 plays, 80 yards, 151, and Atkins looked poised. O.J. Clark was heavily involved in that drive, and it was Muse with the finisher.
It was nice. Jonathan Gibson got involved as well, and so all around that was just a great drive that he put together. Josh looking very confident there. Slap a little high five to his guy saying, yeah, let's do this. I like it. Confidence.
9 different players have a catch. You know that's going to make your teammates happy when everybody is getting involved. Calvert will throw. Frontside pressure from Ferguson. It's complete to DJ Stubbs, who makes his 5th catch to lead all Flames in this one.
Yeah, I think that was DeMarcus Owens over there that came to make that tackle. And good thing he did, because I think that was a broken coverage. Somehow he ended up wide open, up 15 yards down the field, and Owens had to come over there and make that stop. And good he did. I'm glad he did.
14-yard connection between Calvert and Stubbs. They fake the handoff. Slant route caught. Stubbs again. Breaks the tackle initially. Billy Knipp missed it, and some extra yards there.
Billy has to, I'm sorry, Adam, I didn't mean to step on you, but Billy Knipp has to hold on to that. That's a key play right there. Even if it's a shoelace, you hold on, help is coming. He's in the right position. So the coach's job is to get you in the right position. He's in the right position. Now Billy's got to make that play. He's going full speed, so I'll give him credit for that, and he knows it too. He's like, dang it, I should have had that.
Probably would have been for no gain, but instead it goes for a 4-yard connection. And it's 2nd down and 6. The running back behind Calvert is Peyton Pickett, who had 2 rushing scores last week in the win against UNM for Liberty. And it's Pickett on the handoff. He is swarmed by 3 Crimson jerseys. On top is just Xavier Rees. Nothing doing there, just 2 yards for Pickett. 3rd down and 4 yards to go for Liberty.
Yeah, it's nice to see Reese getting the play there, right? So good holding your ground on that right side there. We're looking at it and just drive them back.
Liberty needs their own 49-yard line for a 1st down here. The Aggies showing blitz. Now they stare to their sideline for the marching orders from linebackers coach Oliver Sukup. The Aggies rush 6. Calvert under pressure, escapes pressure, fires it towards his sideline. And Liberty is going to have to punt, and this defense is playing well.
I think that was all about the defensive push up front there. Coach Spaziani had a great call on that. We had lots of pressure coming from different angles there. Flushed him out of the pocket. Great coverage downfield as well. Had to just dump and get rid of the ball. Great effort on that defensive line. Man, I'm so impressed by those guys tonight. Liberty
now 1 of 6 on a 3rd down. They came in converting on 42% of their 3rd downs. O.J. Clark back deep. Another punt for Aiden Alvis, the redshirt freshman from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. Fair catch called for inside the 15. And the Aggies will have a long way to go, but after what they just did in the previous series, it might not seem like too long to go. 41-yard punt there for Alvis before the fair catch called for by Clark.
Great defensive series, right? Really came together. And all pieces of our program are really looking well right at this point. So now if you can get a long sustained drive, you got 3:39 left in the 2nd quarter. Use that clock up get some extra points on the board, and you go into the halftime with the momentum.
And we'll see if these 28 pass attempts, Danny, can open up the running game for Gibson and others. Aggies will go downfield, incomplete. Heavy coverage, a lot of contact as well. It was Peters defending Drew Dan.
And that was a tough throw right into coverage there, because you have a safety coming in to help on that, and almost got there. Maybe it's good that he missed it, because, oh no, he was about to hit him. He wasn't going to go for the ball.
Quick strike, Tevis Abraham drops it. The redshirt freshman, seldom used out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Southern Lab High School. Well, they're using a lot of different guys, Danny. Everyone is getting in there at wideout for the Aggies, and everyone's getting a shot from Atkins. They're down in 10.
6 of 10.
O-line does a good job downfield. It is caught across the 45-yard line. Near midfield, Isaiah Lottie.
You know what I like about that play? Isaiah, well, first of all, it was a great throw. Great protection up front there. He laid it up there, and look at Lottie. See the ball, react to the ball, and go get the ball. That's just a great job receiving right there.
The Aggies get 32. That's the fourth catch for Lottie, who did not have a catch against UTEP either. To the sideline, hauled in. Lottie again. It's like Atkins finds somebody on a series and just keeps on going to him. Clark last series, Lottie this one.
It's like you and me. We got this thing. That's a nice throw. You get the ball out to him and let him go make a play in open space, and he runs up there. You know, these receivers aren't running out of bounds either. They're taking it to 3 or 4 guys. It didn't matter. They're going to get some extra yardage with every catch.
Pump fake from Atkins. Downfield, has a target. Caught in stride by Drew Dan inside the 5-yard line. What a throw by Atkins.
How about that look? So that's a great look off right there. So he looked the safety off, and so he saw the coverage, and all the while he's going to Dan. And it's like, oh, man, okay. So he looks him off there, and there he sees him, and it's like, I'm going to lay it out there. Nice throw. Great catch. Another great chunk of yardage.
First down and goal from the 2-yard line. Trying to sneak his way in is Jason Huntley. Second effort for Huntley. Touchdown. Jason Huntley, the first rushing touchdown this year by an Aggie running back.
Adam, you know, you call the number of people that he's getting involved in every single play, and I'm talking about Coach Martin here. Coach Martin calls Huntley's number this time, and he gets an aid from all of the players pushing him in the back here. But we have everyone in there. You have Gibson running hard. You have Huntley here, sees the goal line. He's pushing, and now you get everyone else in there. It's also going to give him a push and get across the goal line.
Point after, out of the hold of Cy Slater from Dylan Brown. And the Aggies have scored 21 unanswered. 2 straight impressive drives led by Atkins. And for the first time this year, the Aggies have a rushing touchdown from a running back. They had one other rushing touchdown, but it came from the quarterback position 2 games ago when Matt Romero had a running touchdown. This is the first this year for Huntley.
You know, during right there we saw the sidelines. There's Liberty's sidelines right there. I was going to make a comment about it. Turner Gill, he's not going to give up. He's been in situations like this. He's been played well. He's a player in Nebraska, great player, great coach. He's not going to let his team just give up. But you can kind of feel the momentum change just a little bit. And so with 2:26, you know, he's saying, hey, we can get our guys there. And on the other side, I think the Aggies are feeling like, you know what, there's everything working for us. We got all kinds of guys in on the action. We have Huntley running hard right here. He gets an aid by everyone. You even see Josh Atkins in there giving him a push. Mm-hmm. So you see a lot of players getting in there for the Ags, and I think that's the momentum that the Aggies have been missing in previous games.
Look at Josh Atkins leading that team right now. That's what you like to see.
There's a winner, huh?
That's a winner. 3-year starter, won a lot of football games in high school at Smithson Valley in Spring Branch, Texas, and the San Antonio area. I know they're watching tonight. He's one of their own. Redshirt freshman starting and playing well and putting his team in a position to win a football game here at the FBS level. And this will be a touchback. Well, the Aggies playing well after an open week earlier this week. Aggie head coach Doug Martin talked about what the Aggies had to do during the open week to have success here on Saturday.
This is probably one of the most physical week off we've had since I've been here, and I thought our players really responded to it, embraced it. It's where we've got to get better, particularly on offense. We got to play much more physical than what we have been, and again, I think our players really embraced that. I think these guys want to be a good football team. It's just a matter of doing it and getting out and doing it on.
Heavy pressure again for the Aggies. Incomplete pass. Wilcox was right around it again. And it's second down and 10 for Liberty.
Yeah, you made mention of him earlier, and he has made his way on that defensive line. I mean, he is all over it, and he almost got there. And he has a big wingspan, and he almost got those things out there and got a hold of them as he's throwing the ball. It could cause him to throw it a little high on that.
Calvert has struggled at times, 9 of 15 for just 94 yards. He averages over 320 passing yards per game. Gets this one loose. It is caught up to the 40. And a tackle there for DeMarcus Owens.
Yeah, open field tackles that DeMarcus made. That's two of them there. Those are very tough. Had him pinned almost. Adam almost got to him and found a guy that was open, his relief route, and, man, he was wide open.
That was tight end Fidel Obefun, who missed the previous two games with a lower body injury. Dump off pass to the running back Hickson, but he's right there with two crimson jerseys, Jasavia Reese and Billy Knipp.
I think they read that one. They spied that one all the while, and there was nothing going to happen on that.
Second down and 10 yards for Liberty and quarterback Stephen Buckshot Calvert. Liberty trying to go to 3-2. They've allowed 21 unanswered. Calvert goes for it all and he overshoots B.J. Farrow, who has yet to make a catch. Farrow for the year has 16 catches for almost 300 yards.
I think that was McQuaker that was giving the late pressure on him right there. So you see him coming screaming through right there. Lots of pressure. And he just let it fly past. You got to break that.
Timeout.
Liberty.
They're first of the half.
And you look at the clock right now, Danny, 1:22 remaining. If the Aggies get the ball back with the way Atkins has been able to drive the ball down the field on the previous two possessions, he has plenty of time.
He can collect another score or something. That would be great momentum.
2 drives ago, 7 plays, 80 yards. Last drive, 6 plays, 86 yards. Would you say this is the best you've seen the Aggies so far this year in all facets?
I think so. I think it's all coming together. You can kind of feel the momentum, but I want to be tempered somewhat because you want to make sure that it's a long game. But in terms of what they've shown for 2 quarters, by far it's the best football I've seen the Aggies play.
In their previous game last week in Albuquerque, Liberty led 42-10 at halftime, then allowed 33 points at half 2. So this is 2 straight struggling halves now for the Flames. The Aggies trying to trip up Calvert, who dives across midfield. He's going to be well short of the first down marker by about 3 or 4. But the Aggies almost had him for a sack.
They did. There was everyone just pulling at his jersey as he just squirted out of there, and I think he just kind of tripped up. He may have got more yardage there, but look at the push on the front line there. And again, Spaziani brings extra people from the linebacker position, but the push by the front line really, really made that.
The Aggies call a timeout to stop the clock. 1:12 remaining. It's going to be 4th down and 3, so Liberty will have to punt. And like we said, this is enough time, judging by the previous 2 offensive series, for Josh Atkins to do something, at the very least even get a field goal attempt.
I think this is where we're going to see what coach, if he feels very confident or like, let's just protect the lead. Sometimes I know it's like, well, something's good happening. Let's not have something bad happening. I think you have to really force yourself out of that comfort zone and say, you know what, don't take the foot off the gas and keep going.
Here you see Doug Martin talking to Josh Atkins. Turner Gill on the other sideline. Doug Martin last year was the quarterback's coach, the offensive coordinator, and the head coach. He was able to relieve the QB coaching duties to Chase Holbrook, one of the best in program history on the field and now a great coach here at New Mexico State. Nearly a block punt. Flag is down. It bounces into the end zone. The Aggies had a running into the kicker earlier. We'll see what the official call is here, if it's roughing the kicker.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Defense. It's a 15-yard penalty, results in an automatic first down.
Well, the Aggies not as lucky as they were earlier.
Yeah, I thought he called running into the kicker too as well. But, yeah, so you're aggressive, and it's just what happens when your momentum just carries you into it.
And that was freshman Devin Richardson who gets whistled for it. So the offense for Liberty is back on the field after the automatic first down for Liberty on the roughing the kicker call. This is a huge blow, and this takes some of the momentum you would have had away from you potentially.
Yeah, this is tough. So now what happens is you get Coach Spaziani has to go in there and dial up, trying to figure out how to shut them down with 1 minute left and keep them out of scoring position altogether.
First down and 10 from the 35-yard line. It was a 15-yard penalty, of course, and an automatic first down. Pressure again from Wilcox to the end zone. Antonio Gandy Golden using his long arms for the touchdown. What a catch.
Yeah, that was a great catch. That's a great throw. We also had a double coverage on him, so for him to go up and make a play there, that's just a great job. You had coverage. You had guys in the right spot. Now you have to have them go make a play. You can see it here, lots of pressure on the quarterback again. Buckshot steps up in the pocket, lets it ride nice and high, lets him go up for that 50-50 ball, and he comes down with it.
Well, Golden last week had 245 yards receiving in the win for Liberty against UNM. That is the third most by an active player this year at the FBS level. Point after is up and good for Aaron Pearce. And this is a big, big change in momentum.
Yeah, so how about that roughing the kicker call now, right? So that's really tough right there.
But you know what? If you're Liberty, that's what a good football team does, is when they get something good to happen, they take advantage.
And you take advantage. And then the other nice thing is that you'll see that what football teams will do is when something like that happens, it's like, now let's take the time, now that they have been deflated a little bit, and take a big shot downfield, and that's exactly what they did.
It's officially a 34-yard touchdown reception for Antonio Gandy Golden. His 18th career, his 5th this year. His 18th career receiving touchdowns ties him for 5th most in school history with teammate B.J. Farrow. He's a Jaleel Scott type of clone, Danny, where he's 6'4", and if there's double coverage or not, he can go up there and get it.
He can go up there. It's all basketball, right? So you get in there, you get the guy with the reach, with the arms, and have him go up nice and high. And that's where the ball was, nice and high.
The Aggies still have a minute left to try to do something to finish off the first half on a high note. NM State had scored 21 unanswered before the touchdown catch by Golden. So it's going to be first down and 10 at the 25-yard line. How do you approach this series offensively, Danny, if you're Doug Martin, the offensive coordinator and head coach?
Well, you have 57 seconds left. You got the whole field to go. There are positive things that happen in the first two quarters. The last minute, not so much, but the rest, you have it. You had the momentum. So it's important that he still is out there trying to see what they're going to give him. If they give him something big, take it. Across the middle, you'll take that. But don't gamble all out, because you still have positive things. You still have a lead going in at halftime.
Josh Atkins, the quarterback, who's had a great opening half. Far side of the field, completes the pass. O.J. Clark again wrestling away from the defense. O.J. Clark now has 6 catches, a team high, almost 100 yards receiving here in half one. The Aggies do have one timeout to play with. Christian Gibson can't get anywhere, and the clock's going to move unless the Aggies call a timeout, but we get a late flag coming in. Seemed like some extracurriculars after the play, and we'll see if the Aggies can benefit from this hanky.
I think they're gonna call the Aggie with a personal foul there. Had a push after the play.
Once again, our referee is Kevin Hassel. Two independents meeting here tonight in Las Cruces here at Aggie Memorial Stadium on homecoming. It was 7-0 Liberty, and it was 21-7 Aggies, and now it's 21-14. Not sure what's taking so much time here for the call.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 74. That's 15-yard penalty. Also carries a 10-second runoff as a correction. Liberty has elected to decline the 10-second runoff. It'll be third down.
So Liberty declines the 10-second runoff. It's going to be third down for the Aggies. The penalty was on Jamin Smith, the Aggie center. And at this point, Danny, you can really be conservative with just 27 seconds remaining. And we'll see what the Aggies elect to do on a third down. And there you see the penalty number and yards for the Aggies.
Liberty, they're second to the half.
And we get a timeout called
by
Liberty.
has also received his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
That's interesting. I know what Coach Gill was trying to play for. He's trying to play for getting the ball back in somewhat field position, have two timeouts, but he just burned one right there.
And this could be something later, but that's the first unsportsmanlike on Jamin Smith. If you get two of those, you get ejected. And the backup center, Billy Sharmoog, is in street clothes today for the Aggies. So that's something for the second half, but that could be costly going forward for the Aggies after that unsportsmanlike on center, Jamin Smith.
You know, you got to collect yourself in these predicaments, because now it's getting a little tough. I know that you got to roughing the kicker kind of hurt us. They got a touchdown near the end. We had a lead a good lead, comfortable lead, lots of momentum, but you still have to keep your composure, and that's what your job is. And so you have to just remember that and not give them anything cheap.
Now the Aggies will get the ball to start the second half, which is a positive. Third down, 19 to go. Concerted play call to Jason Huntley, who gets up to the 21.5-yard line. 19 seconds remaining.
Timeout.
Pass-heavy offense again
Liberty.
Today for NM State.
Their final timeout of the half. Would the game clock operator please reset the game clock to 20 seconds, please?
34 pass attempts here in the first half. Only 13 rushes for the Aggies, and 4 of those came from Josh Atkins, 7 from Gibson, only 2 now for Huntley. So the Aggies throwing the ball a ton, and Atkins has thrown for almost 260 yards, 258 to be exact in the first half for Atkins.
You know, Coach Martin wanted to come out and throw the ball a lot more. He's like, hey, we have a wide open offense. We have to use it, and we have to figure out a way to get more points on the board and use that wide open offense. He's clearly using that wide open offense.
You hate to harp on one play, but that Devin Richardson roughing the kicker is huge. I mean, it was 21-7. You're
right.
Feeling good. You're going to get the football back.
You're right, Adam.
Even if you don't score points, it's still 21-7, and you start with the ball in half two.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough. But the thing is about football is there's not one play that makes or breaks an entire game, but there's some that can kind of turn the tone just a bit. Maybe that was what that was. That was a tough one, though, no doubt about it.
And no question, with Richardson, it's just a freshman trying to make a play. Richardson's trying to see the field more and find his way in the field more, so he's just trying to make a play. This is a low line drive kick for Theisler. It's a pretty good one. B.J. Farrow dangerously handles it, and he's wrestled out of bounds right around midfield. 11 seconds left. If you're wondering about the kicking game from Liberty, it has not been very good this year. They've only attempted 3 field goals, and Aaron Pearce is 2 of 3 with a long of 22. So it is not a long leg, if you will, for Liberty in the kicking game.
You still take it, though, right? You still take the shot. Certainly, if even if it wasn't they have things to work on from the kicking game, you got to get him in a position where he can have a shot at it. Now remember, they had a couple of 1 or 2 big plays that moved it down the field in a hurry, and they do have, that it's going to have to hurry though. There's no timeouts left.
You take a shot if you're Liberty right here?
I think
Looks
so.
like they may. But the Aggies won't let them. Wilcott's a half sack as well for Reese right there. Jasavia says, coming back from an MCL strain. Played against UTEP. Was injured during the season opener. That's a good finish to the first half. Stephen Buckshot Calvert, one of the more experienced quarterbacks and one of the better quarterbacks on the East, and he has struggled against this Aggie defense here today. Trying to get away from pressure. That's where he's mostly struggled here today.
Yeah, I think Coach Spaziani on defense has really kept him off guard a bit, and he just not let him get comfortable back there. Lots of blitzes, lots of stunts, lots of different things happening, and it really made him uncomfortable back there where he missed some throws. Maybe he wouldn't have, if it wasn't all over him, he'd make some of those.
We'll try to catch up here with the coach, Doug Martin, as he heads towards the Aggie locker room. Coach, can you hear us down there?
Yeah.
I know the roughing the kicker call stings a little bit, but overall, how would you judge that first half?
Yeah, with the exception of the penalties, we played pretty good, especially offensively. I thought, we really got in the rhythm there, and Josh was reading through things and made some good plays for us.
Hey, Coach Danny Nee, that defense is really standing tall. There's a couple plays in there that got away from them. For the most part, that's they're pitching a good defensive stand.
We are, Dan. We've played pretty hard defense. The roughing the punter penalty, gave him another shot, and we shouldn't have given up that deep ball. But, we're getting to the quarterback a little bit, and that's what we got to do.
All right, Coach. Good luck in half 2. Thank you. That's Aggie head coach Doug Martin trying to get the second win this year for the Aggies. NM State a quality first half. 3 of 3 in the red zone. Atkins was 23 of 34 for 258. And the Aggies lead by a touchdown. Pistol Pete is getting the crowd going up near the video board here at Aggie Memorial Stadium. The Aggies hungry for their first home win and their second straight win overall. In front of their home crowd tonight, they lead Liberty 21-14 in a matchup of 2 independents. Playing for the first time of 4 times in 2 years. 2 meetings this year, 2 meetings next year. The Aggies will travel to Lynchburg, Virginia on November 24th this season. Aaron Pearts will kick it away for Liberty. The Aggies will start with the football in half 2, ahead by 7. The lead was 14, a late touchdown though for Antonio Gandy Golden. His 18th career touchdown reception, getting the Flames within 1 score. And this is over the head of Jason Huntley. And the Aggies will have it at the 25-yard line. And we get some extracurriculars near the 30 after the kick. And no flags are thrown. So we get a look here at Josh Atkins to start half 2. And the Aggies threw the ball a ton in half 1, Danny, and Atkins was up to the challenge.
Yeah, he was. He had some great throws, too, right? Very relaxed back there. He was feeling, especially near the end of the game, those last couple drives, he really came out and just marched us right down the field. So let's see what he has this time, especially now that coaches have been able to go in there and make their adjustments.
A lot of carries from Christian Gibson, not many from Jason Huntley, as the pass is complete to O.J. Clark, who's been the busiest receiver for the Aggies so far. His 7th catch for a gain of 5 yards.
Yeah, that's nice. It could have been Drew Dan's out there on that point of attack, getting that one block. Oh, I'm glad he resisted pushing in the back there. That would have been penalty, but it's still nice, good 5 yards.
Swing it out again. Block wasn't there on the outside. That's where Drew Dan was, and that means O.J. Clark was blown up on the play. A loss on the play of 1 yard.
Yeah, that's tough. Came back to the same thing, looking to get 5 chunks, chunk, if you will. But Drew Dan, again, was called on for his blocking skills. And this last one, he just couldn't get there. And you can see a quick toss to the outside, and Drew Dan just couldn't hold on to that block. 3rd
down and 6. The Aggies will need the 35-yard line. Atkins lobs it downfield, looking for O.J. Clark, and nothing doing. In coverage, Jeremy Peters, the senior from Green Cove Springs, Florida.
Well, they went for it, right? So they saw the same thing. Let's see if we can get man coverage here, see if we can get O.J. Clark to run past coverage and just lay the ball up there and let him go get it. Nothing doing, so punt the ball away.
And let's see if the Aggies can punt it better here in half 2. 5 punts in the first half for Theisler, a 33-yard average. because he had a 19-yard punt. A couple punts were good, but a 19-yarder. And we'll see what he does right here, and he booms this one away. Back to how we're used to seeing Peyton Theisler. This one is returnable, though, at the 15 by DJ Stubbs. Stubbs to midfield. All he has to beat is Theisler, and he's finally tripped up. Gibson came out of nowhere. Stubbs almost took it all the way back.
You know, a few games we've seen, stumbling over my words because it seems like the same thing comes back as like coverage on punt. It's one of the things, and kickoff. You got to be able to get down there, stay in your lane, so you want everyone to have lane integrity. And the other thing is you got to break down on the runner. So it doesn't do any good to be the first one down there if you don't break down to make a play. So if we run past them, that's not good. If you don't stay in your lanes, this is what happens here. You end up having a guy just slice you for big coverage, big yardage.
60-yard punt return for Stubbs. His previous long was only 25 yards. On the ground for Frankie Hickson here on 1st down and 10. Hickson gets a couple. 2-yard pickup, and it's 2nd down and 8. So far today, the Liberty's averaging 4.4 yards per rush, which is better than what it has been recently. Just 2.2 per rush last week in their 52-43 win against New Mexico. Screen pass caught by J.T. Wood, but he's met immediately by Billy Knipp.
Seems you see both these types of plays that are being run by both teams, right? The quick toss to the outside, see what you can make something happen there. In this case, Billy Knipp saw it coming all the while and just made a great play there. Nice tackle.
Wood loses 3, 3rd down and 11. Wood getting some action because of injuries to normal top receivers Kevin Shaw and Damian King, who are both unavailable tonight. Stephen Buckshot Calvert looks to his sideline for a new play call. To his right is Hickson. 3 receivers, bottom side of your screen. Quick drop for Calvert. Rifles a pass that is caught by J.T. Wood again. There is a flag down, though, near the 15-yard line.
You know, this is a tough play, Adam, because you have one-on-one on the top there with Golden that you want to worry about. So you have a safety kind of sliding over a bit to help out. And they use that as a decoy to throw to the backside here.
Holding, defense, number 1. That penalty is declined. The result of the play.
The decline, the penalty was holding on cornerback Ray Buford Jr. And as Wood made the catch, he was shaken up, so he heads to the sideline. And as we mentioned, Liberty's already dealing with injuries. Might have another. High formation look with the fullback Lewis and Hickson behind him. Lewis will lead the way for the quarterback Stephen Calvert, who dances into the end zone. Rushing touchdown, the first this year for Stephen Buckshot Calvert.
You know, just great blocking up front that really makes that play. So you pin everyone in and you just kind of lead around the end on that and just keep the ball and walk it on in the end zone. Made that one look a little easy. Here you can kind of see it like stretch out there. Pick up all those blocks up early and nothing left but one. Get McQuaker's block on him and he walks in.
Aaron Peart with a point after. And it's a 21-21 score. So the Aggies led 21-7 with a little over a minute left in the first half. Late touchdown at half 1 for the Flames. Early touchdown at half 2. They tied it 21 apiece. Adam Young and former Aggie Danny Nee with you. The Liberty swim and dive team is here. They were competing in the Aggies meet this weekend, so they are watching their school, Liberty, play football today, which is awfully cool, all the way from Lynchburg, Virginia. 21-21 the score. The Aggies, Danny, dealing with a huge injury on defense this week. Linebacker Terrell Hanks, a 4-year starter, is out for the 2nd straight game with an ankle injury, and that's a huge loss for this defense.
Yeah, that makes it tough. They're pitching a good game here, but having Terrell Hanks help would have been a great benefit as well. So it's too bad that he's not with us, but hopefully next game he'll be ready to go.
Not returnable there for Jason Huntley. The Aggies did get good news earlier this week on Hanks. He got an MRI on his ankle, and the result was he will not need surgery. So to your point, Danny, Doug Martin is hopeful that he will have Hanks back for next Saturday's game at Louisiana. Hanks missed the UTEP game, a game in which the Aggies won. And he's missing this one tonight as well. Atkins back to work. Whole new ball game. 21-21, 14 unanswered for the Flames. Let's see if the Aggies can get Jason Huntley more involved. This is an option run for Atkins, not fooling Liberty. Four-yard gain there for Atkins. 2nd down and 6. Corbin Jackson made the tackle for Liberty.
Yeah, it's just 4 down or 4 yards, but it's still a good 4 down, so it makes it better second.
Play action pass across the middle. Probably should have been caught there by Anthony Muse, who caught a touchdown earlier.
Well, he tried to thread that right between 2 guys.
Number 11 is leaving the
Atkins has
game
been
for an
efficient
equipment
today.
violation.
He's really spread the wealth.
Must remain out for 1
9
play.
different receivers have been active with at least 1 catch, including Muse. Wide receivers coach Corey Martin, the coach's son, is just shuffling in receivers left and right here. 3 receivers set, 3 receivers, top side of your screen. Pressure comes, wheel routes, and it is caught by Jason Huntley.
Wow.
It's a heck of a catch.
That's all Huntley. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it's all Huntley. Josh felt the pressure. He knew he had to get rid of the ball before Huntley was ready for it. So here comes the pressure. Josh lays it up and says, okay, Huntley, you go make the play. And he does. Puts the brakes on, leans back on that
The
thing, and
ruling
makes
on
a
the field
great
is the
catch.
pass was incomplete. 3rd down.
But it's incomplete.
The referee today is Kevin Hassel.
Correction, 2nd down.
We'll get a second look.
It is.
Yeah, I think it might have bounced.
It's a good call.
He sold it pretty well.
Yeah. So now here we come back with the punt again. Now it's going to be important that you cover on the punt. And let's see if he just kicks the ball to him or kicks away. But in any event, you have to turn the field on a punt. You got to turn the field and get on the other side. So in order to do that, you got to kick it deep, and you have to cover.
Theisler coming off a 55-yard punt earlier in this quarter. Pretty good one here. The Aggies will touch it after the backspin bounce. That was touched by Billy Knipp in coverage. Liberty football in a great one tonight in Las Cruces. First of 2 matchups this year, 21-21. First of 2 meetings this year between the Aggies and the Flames. Flames new to the FBS level, their inaugural FBS season after 30 years at the FCS level. And here's a look at the future dates. You have 2 independents, so they're searching for games. The Aggies and the Flames are going to meet in November in Lynchburg, back here in Las Cruces early October next year, and then back in Lynchburg late November next year. And the reason why they're playing each other twice in one season is because you don't have those conference games, Danny. You need to find a way to get 12 games on your schedule. The Aggies have the advantage with the built-in rivalries with UNM and UTEP. But then if you add 2 games against Liberty each year, you're on your way. You're a third on your way then.
Right. And Liberty's got some good games as well, right? So where they're positioned, there's good games that they can pick up. But, yes, you play them twice this year, twice next year. It'll be interesting.
And the 2 athletic directors know each other very well. Mario Mocha, of course, the AD at New Mexico State, and Ian McCaw, the AD at Liberty, the former AD at Baylor. Those 2 guys know each other from their Big 12 days when Ian McCaw was at Liberty, or check that, at Baylor, and Mario was at Mizzou. Pass incomplete on first down, intended for DJ Stubbs.
Well, he's trying to get that ball out quickly, and I think that just the timing was off on there because Stubbs was open on that. It was just quick play action, get the ball out as fast as you can, and he just a little high.
We haven't seen Peyton Pickett in a while. Hickson, the tailback here for Calvert and the Flames offense. Ferguson showing pressure. He, along with Cedric Wilcox, bringing down Calvert for the sack.
Well, The great thing about that call, you have two backers coming in, but you have two backers coming in at different times. So watch, you have one, you have McQuaker there on the left, he gets cut, and then Ferguson comes after, behind him, kind of twists around him, open, playing straight to the quarterback. And it could be, I think, was Buckshot down on that?
No, that's an offensive lineman. I thought it was Buckshot initially as well. It is Julio Lozano, their left tackle, who is a big part of this line, making his 17th consecutive start today, and they've already shuffled some things up on the line. Ethan Crawford usually starts at left guard, but backup center Ben Fiordelis has been starting at left guard today because Crawford is out with a lower body injury. So this could really put a wrinkle in the O-line for Liberty. Cooper McCall is the backup to Lozano.
Looks like he's walking off. Okay. Yeah, this is a mid-season. That's what happens mid-season, right? You get banged up, dinged up. You can't get healthy enough for the next game, and so you have to have plenty of players. That's where I believe that you have to have two strong ones and twos, because when someone gets hurt, you got to be able to sub in and not lose stride one bit.
Lozano will have to sit out for at least one play, so Cooper McCall, the redshirt freshman from Southlake, Texas, is in at left tackle. A big third down at 15 for Stephen Buckshot Calvert and the Flames. Stepping up, there's Roy Lopez, and he bounces it for Hickson. Pressure came again. It's been Lopez, Wilcox, and Ferguson all night.
Oh, pressure on the defensive line. They're coming. Roy Lopez just was all over him. I mean, that was just inches from getting that ball to a fumble. And it looks like Cedric's down here. But let's see, look at Roy Lopez. He throws a quick swim move and just gets upfield in a hurry and just pressure all over him. I didn't see where Cedric got tangled up there. I think that's Cedric that's down.
Yeah, that is Cedric Wilcox. And Dominic Moreno, the head athletic trainer, is out there with Wilcox, who is a big part of this defense on the line.
Boy, he's had a heck of a night in terms of pressure and being able to take advantage and push that guy back on the offensive line. He's just been tough.
To put into perspective what he was doing before this game, he missed the first two games due to academics. So Cedric has only played in 3 games coming in. He had 4.5 sacks in 3 games, which is extremely impressive. He had 8.5 sacks last year to lead the team. This is one of the better defensive ends in the West.
And UTEP had 8 tackles and 2.5 sacks just in that one game.
Punt is away for Aiden Alvis. Calling for a fair catch is Clark. Komate Kofi had to get out of the way, and it backpedals inside the 30-yard line. We have a good one tonight in Las Cruces. It is the 1-4 Aggies trying to get to 2-4. The Flames looking for their 3rd win this year. Deadlocked at 21, under 11 left in the 3rd. It's a tight one tonight in Las Cruces at Aggie Memorial Stadium. Adam Young along with former Aggie Danny Nee. Young redshirt freshman quarterback Josh Atkins trying to engineer a scoring drive here for the Aggies, making his 2nd collegiate start. And earlier this week, his head coach Doug Martin talked about Josh's development as the starter.
He's developing really at a fast pace and probably ahead of most people I've had at his age mentally. He really understands the game. He studies the game really hard. He's really bright. And, so, I mean, for a redshirt freshman to be where he is mentally is, I don't know that I've ever had a player as far along as he is right now.
Atkins became the starter in the second half 2 games ago versus New Mexico on this turf here at Aggie Memorial. Got the start against UTEP and helped the Aggies to a 27-20 win 2 weeks ago. And probably the best thing for Josh Danny was having that open week where he could really, really learn for over a week.
And it wasn't an easy week either. It was like, best on best, and so he had to really perform. And I think that probably did help him a great deal.
2 guys in the backfield for the Aggies. Quick strike, caught. Jonathan Boone up near the 45-yard line. Boone hasn't been all that active today, just his 2nd catch. And his 1st catch with positive yardage, this one for 14.
Josh sat back in the pocket and just kind of previewed the whole field to find someone, and he just bulled that. You can see his arm strength in that last pass.
Atkins will throw again. Looks right, throws left to the big tight end at midfield, Bryce Roberts. who just covers up that football with his 268-pound body.
I like it. I like getting tight ends involved more into the game. He's a big guy. I think there's a lot of things you can do with tight ends that are both good blockers and receivers.
Handoff goes to Royce Caldwell, his first carry today after 2 carries last game against UTEP.
Adam, did you see him? I thought if that didn't get his hand on his jersey in the backfield, he could turn that corner and get upfield, and if he gets going north-south, he is gone.
7 yards for an Aggie first down there for Caldwell. The senior out of Texas will get it again. Pointing out for blockers. Goes out of bounds to the Aggie sideline where he's shoved by Bajor Wilson. 6 more for Caldwell.
Getting a little testy down there on the field. Here it is, just a stretch play. We're going to give it to Caldwell around the end and see if he can't get that corner, and he does, and get some extra yards, and did get just a little push there. So you got to keep in control though.
Aggies trying to take a third quarter lead. Right back to the air. Another good throw by Atkins. Staying on his feet is O.J. Clark. He's shifty. Clark up near the 20. They're going to mark him down at the 22-yard line. And it's a 15.
Wow, man, it's a good thing Peters for Liberty actually rolled off and got up, missed the tackle, got up and made the tackle because he was off to the races there. You see O.J. here, breaks out, quick out, catches the ball, little move there, and then here comes Peters back again to make the tackle, and it's a good thing he did.
The Aggies with Caldwell in the backfield again. Pump fake and a throw by Atkins. Wide open. And it's Drew Dan for the touchdown. They fooled everybody.
You know, that's that quick toss that they've been running back up and down the field. Both teams really. And so they run it 2 or 3 times this time. And when they come out in this play, they pump that quick toss to the outside. And then just run Dan right down the field. So instead of Drew Dan being the blocker, this time he releases, gets upfield, wide open. I think the hardest part to that is not overthrowing the ball. It's just like, just throw it out there. It's like, okay, it's wide open.
22-yard pass and catch. Touchdown number 2 for Drew Dan this year. Josh Atkins with his second touchdown pass. His 29th completion. The Aggies have gone to the air 43 times in the game, and boy, is this young man growing up here tonight.
Yeah, that's a nice play right there. That's a good call on Coach Martin too, right? So you come out and you're getting 5-yard chunks with those quick throws to the outside, and you throw it, and now defenders think, oh, here it comes again, so let's just jump it. They jump it, and that's the one time he pumps that and throws it downfield. Great call, but a great execution as well by Josh and Dan.
How about some of these scoring drives today, Danny? After the first touchdown by Gibson, then you had a 7-play, 80-yard drive that took 151. Then you had a 6-play, 86-yard drive that took 113. This one, 6 plays, 70 yards for 151. So the Aggies are going pretty much the length of the field in right around a minute and a half or 2 minutes in each of these drives.
Yeah, that's great way to utilize the clock, right? And then also just putting a lot of different things together where you're both running and passing, but collecting a great drive that allows you to use the clock and as many plays that you have.
Aggies regain the lead. Brown will kick off, and this one is through the end zone again. With 9:04 remaining here in the third quarter. We'll talk about this more later potentially, but it's worth noting that if the Aggies are able to hang on today, they would get to 2-4, which would be an identical record through 6 games. Last year when the Aggies went to the Arizona Bowl and won the Arizona Bowl, Aggies last year through 6, they were 2-4. Trying to get to 2-4 tonight. Play action to the tight end. Zach Fouts, his first catch today is 5th this year.
Yeah, that's a nice play right there, and that's why I like about those anyone's out there lining up in a tight end position where you can fake like you're going to block, and then you just kind of sneak out there. You get into the second level or third level, and you get to where the free safety is, and he has to make a play right away.
2 really good receivers, Farrow and Gandy Golden, bunched up on the bottom side of your television screen. Going deep is Calvert. He's looking for Gandy Golden and a little wide. Coverage out there from Lomax. Billy Knipp was trailing the play as well.
Yeah, that's great coverage right there. Part of that is being able to put pressure on Buckshot, and there's just lots of people coming in from different angles. Coach Spaziani's really coming up different stunts and different movements up front. You see Javon Ferguson coming free, putting pressure on him. He's just got to release it sooner than he wants.
Gandy Golden only has 3 catches today after 11 catches in the win against UNM last week. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 after a 4-yard pickup on the carry by Hickson.
It's an important 3rd down right here. You dig your heels in there. If you can get a stop here, you get the ball back, and now you have the momentum. Kind of break this, each team going down and scoring. You have to break that up somehow.
Liberty 2 of 9 on a 3rd down. Stephen Buckshot Calvert, the quarterback. A junior making his 23rd straight starts. Threw for 417 yards last week. Here comes pressure again. Dumps it off to Stubbs. And he's taken down from behind, but he has enough for a 1st down.
That was some serious chess going on there on both sides. You change up the play, change the defense, change the play again, change the defense again, and he's able to just dump it out there quickly. Roy Lopez all over him, gets it quick to out in the open field and just lets him get those extra yards.
Peyton Pickett now the running back for the Flames. It seems like Calvert is one of the most composed quarterbacks the Aggies have faced this year. They faced a good one a couple of weeks ago in Utah State's Jordan Love. Calvert's a good one and awfully poised in the pockets. Strikes one again to DJ Stubbs on his own sideline. Stubbs gets a half dozen. 2nd down and 4 for Liberty.
When you're throwing the ball as fast as they are, it's hard to get any defense in there. So he draws up a blitz coming in there, but the linebackers don't even have a chance to get to the quarterback before he has the ball out of his hands to the receiver.
In case you're just joining us, the Flames without number 1 running back Kentori Matthews for the 2nd straight game. He's out with a lower body injury. So Pickett and Hickson have been involved in the running game for Liberty. Pass is intercepted. This is DeMarcus Owens across midfield. Gets a block from Shamad Lomax down to the 30-yard line. Owens with his 6th career pick.
I saw DeMarcus Owens kind of spying that a little bit, and as soon as the ball, because Buckshot was kind of looking that way, and I think Owens kind of saw him, a little bit, staring him down or staring that direction. And so now you can see as soon as he released the ball, Owens made a break on the ball and came up to the ball. So he saw the thing the whole time. That's a great job by Owens. And not only that, but he's not going to be okay with just getting a pick. It's like, I'm taking it for as many yards as I can, and that's great return yardage right there. Nice job by Owens.
That's just the 4th interception thrown this year in 5 games by Stephen Buckshot Calvert. First interception this year for Owens, but number 6 during his career. The Aggies with some trickery. Boone can throw it if he wants to. He'll heave it towards the end zone, and it is incomplete. Flags come down, though. Doug Martin pulls out the bag of tricks, Danny.
Well, it's, someone asked about it, like, what about trick plays? What about this? And I think Coach said, well,
pass interference.
we're not good enough at this time to come up.
Number 2. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
It's our Jeremy Peters, the cornerback.
So he says, we're not, I don't know if we're good enough right now to come up with all these trick plays, and so let's just work on what we have. But that's a cagey coach, right? So the coach always holds 1 or 2 cards back in his poker game, and here it is, let's pull it out. Got the reverse pass, going to throw it, and you did say he can throw the ball, and he did. He threw a nice pass right there.
With a glove arm, too.
Yeah.
Timeout, New Mexico State. Their first
the Aggies will use a timeout ahead by 7, 6 and change left here in the 3rd. 2 takeaways on defense, a fumble recovery early for Roy Lopez, and now an interception for DeMarcus Owens, giving the Aggies good field position.
In those interceptions, they can be a backbreaker because all of a sudden they have momentum. They're driving down the field. and then you throw one pick, you get good return yardage, and all of a sudden your drive and your momentum, it just goes poof, it's gone. And all of a sudden now you have scoring position for the Aggies that can go up with 2 scores. So this is a pivotal time, a great time for DeMarcus Owens to get that pick.
Let's take a look at some of the touchdowns here today for the Aggies. A good day for the offense, a good day for the defense as well. NM State trailed early, 7-0. Touchdown run right there for Christian Gibson. Touchdown catch for Anthony Muse, his first this year. These are all first half touchdowns. Jason Huntley able to dive in as well for a touchdown run, his first this year. We're back to live action now as Boone could throw it if he wanted to. And I think he was thinking about it, Danny. That was a backward pass, and it seemed like Boone was thinking, do I throw it again?
How much guts does it take to call a play twice? Well, I'm glad he didn't. There was good judgment on his part not to throw that ball, and I know it's like, do I throw it? I can throw it. Yeah, he could have, but he was covered. There was nothing there. So I'm glad he just ate it.
No gain there on the play. 2nd down and 10. Empty backfield, 5 out wide. Screen pass to Tevis Abraham, his 2nd catch this year. And the Aggies get the redshirt freshman from Baton Rouge inbound for a 6-yard pickup. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 from the 10-yard line.
Looks like it's getting a little testy out there, too, as well. And it's just a tough game. And that's what happens when it's a good competition and tempers just start to flare a little bit.
The Aggies 7 of 14 on a 3rd down. Atkins underneath, pass is caught by Bryce Roberts, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. First touchdown catch this year for the big man from Yukon, Oklahoma.
Oh, man, how about that play action? Tight end kind of chips his guy at the line of scrimmage and releases straight up the gut for a touchdown. We talked about how important it is to have good tight ends that can release and get upfield, and you get a big old hoss like that breaking straight up the middle. He catches the ball. When you have a free safety that are smaller than these guys, sometimes you don't even know they caught the ball, and there he is pushing it in the end zone. That was a great call right there. Great pass.
Point after good for Dylan Brown. 3 plays, 31 yards in 1 minute. Everybody is getting into the act, Danny. 9 catches for Clark, 5 for Lottie, 4 for Drew Dan, 3 each for Muse and Bryce Roberts now, 2 each for Boone and Huntley, a catch for Shea Holbrook, a catch for Tevis Abraham, and a catch for Royce Caldwell. We might have a catch when this night is over.
I think we're wide open up here.
Yeah.
When I spoke with Corey Martin earlier in the week, and I talked about, hey, it's nice to see if we can't get our receivers to kind of get playing together, because it just felt like they were all surging at different times, and there was no true, cohesiveness or ability to play together. It just didn't look like they were meshed. And he said, yeah, we're getting better, though, and I think you're going to see something a lot different this game, and we're going to really be able to spread it out. They had a great 2 weeks of practice, and I think you're going to see some things this week. And you know what? We are seeing some things. Tight end plays, extra yardage went on after you received the ball, after you had a catch. Great blocking by the receivers. I think Coach Corey Martin is doing a great job with those receiving corps.
Everybody knows the quarterback position is crucial to a team's success. I think we're starting to really see how crucial it is with Josh Atkins last week making no mistakes. This week, mistake-free so far, 3 touchdown passes for almost 340 yards. And you look up at the score, it's 35-21 against a good football team that beat UNM on the road last week.
Yeah, that was a good game, right? They had to fight to keep that one, but they posted some high numbers. You almost want to not look up yet, right? You want to be able to keep your head down. There's a whole, and you got a whole nother quarter to play. There's a lot of things that can happen, but you got to keep going, and Coach has not let his foot off the gas on offense. Now on defense, see if we can dig in.
And Stephen Buckshot Calvert can make a big play in the blink of an eye. Liberty could use a big play right here. Fullback Mitchell Lewis is in the game. Running it back. Frankie Hickson gets a touch. Jasavia Reese, the first one there. Only 3.9 yards per rush for Liberty. It was well over 5 earlier, and that number is going down and down here for the Flames.
Yeah, you know, when I talked to Coach Spaziani early in the week, he said, I know they don't run a lot, but you still have to stop the run, because if you don't, they will make you pay for that, and he is stopping the run, but certainly look to use that as an advantage, I think.
Right back to Hickson on 2nd down and 8. Swallowed up early again. In the middle of that tackle was linebacker Leon McQuaker, the senior from Augusta, Georgia. This is an offense, Danny, that is averaging 31 points per game. This is a high-powered Liberty offense that the Aggies are
and that defensive line
today.
is playing tough, as you saw in that play.
3rd down and 7. The Aggies showing pressure. They're going to rush 5 guys. Dump off to Hickson. Hickson has the 30. He has the first down across the 40 up to the 46-yard line. Big pickup of 18 yards on a 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a nice play. That's a nice pickup right there. So the way you stop or keep a team from affecting your passing that's blitzing a lot, you throw where they just came from. And you saw us blitzing off the corner, and that's where you dump the ball. You dump the ball back in there where they're coming off, and they all had to stop and see if they can't go catch them. And that was just a nice call on their part. Good call.
No, we're off. Water off.
And now we'll get a timeout called. Looks like it. Would have been a medical timeout right there, and right back to action. Guys, we're getting a drink of water, and next thing you know, we're back to play here. Peyton Pickett, the running back for Liberty. Rolling left, looking deep. Calvert whistles it downfield. Incomplete. Nearly a circus catch for the 6'4" Antonio Gandy Golden, who they call AGG.
Yeah, DeMarcus Owens, man. Yeah, you did. That was a nice stop right there. He had to elevate to get that ball and tip it out of there. You get one-on-one coverage on that. You got a little help from over top, got some safety help, but that was really DeMarcus on his own on that coverage there. And Golden is tough. He's a tough guy to get one-on-one coverage there. A little bit behind him, so he elevates to just knock that ball out of there and does a great job.
This looks awfully similar to what Aggie opponents had to deal with last year when Jaleel Scott
I agree.
was on the Aggies. And Jaleel Scott's an NFL guy. Andy Golden could be there someday. That one is skipped to B.J. Farrow. And Farrow still doesn't have a catch.
You know, back to what do you do on blitzing teams that blitz you a lot? So you go long count, you go throw the ball right over where the pressure is coming from, and the other thing you do is throw the ball quickly, and we see that right here. In this case, I don't know if he really had the ball before he released it.
Farrow came into this game with almost 270 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns this year, and he's catchless today.
Here's the chess game at work again. Nice.
Albert is 18 of 32 for 215, 1 touchdown and 1 pick. The Aggies blitz 4, and Roy Lopez gets to Calvert, but he stays on his feet as he dumps it off to Peyton Pickett. Well shy of the first down. Lopez can't believe he didn't tackle him.
I was looking at the same thing. I was looking back there, and he's like, how the heck did he get out of there? But look at Lopez. Again, he's fighting up front there. Wrestling. That's the wrestling skills he had from high school. He throws that swim technique in there and gets to the quarterback, and just lots of pressure in his face all night long.
And that shows you, too, how big Calvert is. He's listed 6'2", 180, but he seems a little bigger than that. Roy Lopez is a big dude, and if you can stay on your feet when Lopez is coming after you at 6'2", 313,
yep,
you're pretty strong. The Aggies just stay away from Aiden Alvis this time, which is probably a smart move. Fair catch at the 15 for O.J. Clark. What's your mindset right now if you're calling plays and you're Doug Martin here, Danny?
Well, I think what you're looking at is you want to keep the momentum going, right? So you don't want to take big gambles right now, but you still want to keep your foot on the gas because it's clearly kept everyone off guard. And the other thing you want to do is burn clock, right? So burn clock. So maybe some runs in here, some quick, easy, high percentage passes to the outside. Now that I said that, watch, he'll throw one right down the middle. But that's what I'm thinking. Burn the clock, get it down there a little bit.
Right on cue. Here is Jason Huntley out of the Aggie backfield, and for Huntley. That is just his 4th carry today. He came in with 49 to lead the team. His long this year is only 14. He can be active in so many ways, but he hasn't done a ton here tonight.
You know, we say burn the clock, run the ball, but, you know, that's still a good play for Huntley, because if he gets in the open, he is gone.
Here's Huntley in motion. And now the Aggies will use him in the passing game. Stutter steps across the 15-yard line. We're going to mark him down, it looks like, at the 17-yard line. And the Aggies will have a couple to go here on third down and 8.
Again, this is just this quick toss to the outside. You have kind of a wheel route where Huntley's going to work out of the backfield. He's wide open, and it's just a check down to him, let him get the ball to him in open space and see if he can't make something happen.
The Aggies need the 25-yard line. They throw it to the 25-yard line, and it's incomplete as it touches the turf, intended for JUCO transfer Shane Holbrook Jr. An ideal drive right there. The Aggies didn't use a whole lot of clock.
They didn't
go anywhere.
Yeah, so quick toss to the outside. I think he has, but it's just kind of a short throw, and it just couldn't get back to it. Even if he caught it, it would not have been a first down. But you're right. So you wanted to burn clock. You run the ball first, but you throw one, you run out of bounds, and then you throw an incomplete pass, stops the clock. So didn't burn as much time as they would have wanted.
DJ Stubbs, the dangerous return man who returned one for 60 earlier, is back, and it's a good friendly bounce for the Aggies. It's going to roll right around the 30-yard line. Good punt there for Peyton Theisler with 2 and change left in the third. I'm sure there's something to be said, too, about trying to be too conservative on offense.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. So if you get too conservative, they can come back. They certainly can put some points on the board. You saw that last week at UNM. I mean, they really jumped out quickly, so putting points up quickly is not a problem. So you do have to keep your foot on that gas. You still have to keep pouring it on somehow, but you just don't want to pull out all kinds of dumb plays and things that you don't need to. Excess risks, I guess you would call it.
What's going on in the mind of Frank Spaziani, who we just saw on that TV screen?
He's thinking the other thing. He's thinking they got to put points on the board, so you have to be ready to call up some blitzes, but you got to stay back.
Pass is hauled in by DJ Stubbs, who's been great in special teams and catching the football today. 9 catches now for 86 yards after a pickup of 13.
Right. Well, I think Coach Spaziani's going to keep the pressure going, but he's also going to keep a couple safeties back, so it could be kind of a too deep, if you will, to not let him get behind you too fast to have a quick score.
Need to keep an eye on Antonio Gandy Golden, the receiver on the top side of your television screen here. DeMarcus Owens has done a good job on him today. 2 receivers open downfield. This one is caught by Farrow. His first catch tonight after he came into this one with 16 catches for the year.
That's where you kind of use a disguise where you're going to run a guy deep off and then you're going to run someone up underneath that. And we were playing the deep ball, not wanting him to get deep, but they still got, a good chunk of yardage with that play.
25-yard chunk. 38 yards combined in the previous 2 plays for Liberty. 3 receiver sets. Tight end Fouts is in. Running back is Hickson, who gathers the delay handoff. He's across the 15. He's trying to break the tackle of Ron LaForce, who drags him down shy of the 10-yard line.
It's a good thing Ron LaForce made that tackle, because he kind of just snuck in there. Good play. Got a little draw action on that. Ferguson got caught up with some traffic and just couldn't get there in time, and he just got by in a hurry.
Hickson met immediately at the 10-yard line. Looks like either Shane Jackson or Jonathan Hood. I can't tell if it's 20 or 28 with the jersey bunched up. Only a 1-yard gain. And it was Jonathan Hood, number 20 in crimson. Only 2 receivers in the formation here for Liberty. They're going to dump it off to the tight end Fouts, who makes the catch for the touchdown. First touchdown this year, 2nd career for the redshirt junior tight end from Roanoke, Virginia.
Play action. This is kind of what the Aggies did when they scored with Bryce. Here it is right here, a little play action like a run, and they just sneak the tight end right up the middle there for a walk in the park.
11-yard touchdown reception for Fouts, coming off a game in which he had 53 receiving yards last week at UNM, a career high for him, and he's involved late. Brings the Flames within 7 late in the third quarter.
Adam, it's been an interesting flow to the game, right? So the first, it looked like there was a defensive struggle. Both offenses were kind of, flailing just a little bit, and so it was all about the defense, a defensive struggle. Now all of a sudden, here it is, 35-28, and I see a shootout. This is just who can stay up and who can keep par on scoring.
Yeah, one team goes on a run with 14 straight, then the other team able to answer, and then that team goes on a run.
Right.
So the Aggies need to find a way, if you're an Aggie fan, to not allow Liberty to go on a run here after the touchdown catch by Fouts.
And you can see how they just jumped that dive. They were going to stop the run first, and it was just a fake play action and dump it over top.
We've seen both teams use their tight ends today.
Right.
Bryce Roberts
Yep.
has been heavily involved for the Aggies. He has a touchdown catch.
Well, it's hard when you're in the secondary or linebacker. You're looking to see what's going on with the quarterback, but you're also trying to peek and see if the tight end stays in or not.
This is going to be returnable for Jason Huntley, who has 2 career return touchdowns on kickoffs. None this year, though, and he brings it out near the 35-yard line, so good field position for Atkins and the Aggies with 30 ticks left in the third.
I like that little spin move. How about that little spin move? He just darted up in there and saw some extra yardage to be had and just kind of spun to the right a little bit. Nice return.
It's been a pretty offensive third quarter. The Aggies with 14 points in this quarter. Liberty has scored 14 points in this quarter as well. They scored early in the third to tie the game initially. And the Aggies went ahead by 14. Now the lead is 7.
Need a good drive right here to keep the cushion right. Get some more points on the board.
Under 10 seconds left in the third. We'll see if the Aggies get a play off or just head of the fourth quarter. Looks like they're just going to take this to the fourth. Huntley tells Atkins, just hold up. And we go to the fourth quarter.
It's the end of the third quarter.
One touchdown game, 35-28. Atkins holding up 4 fingers. Boy, has he been good today. He'll try to lead the Aggies to their second straight win. We get ready for the fourth quarter. Josh Atkins, the quarterback for the Aggies. He's been awfully good today. Adam Young and former Aggie Danny Nee along with you. Great to have you with us. Atkins looks right, throws left, completes the pass to Jason Huntley, who's across midfield, and he's into Liberty territory.
Kind of a wheel route that comes out of the backfield. What do you say about that? Nice play action. We have receivers going every direction. Little misdirection as well. There he is. You kind of see him sneaking out on the right part of your screen. Pops out there. No one saw him. He gets the ball. Very dangerous and open field.
24-yard catch for Jason Huntley. Atkins right back to the air. Pressure came across the middle. Caught by O.J. Clark.
Wow.
He's gone. Touchdown Aggies.
Little pump fake in there. And as soon as he pumped, everyone came down and bit, and he knew he had him. He still had to make a very good throw. And Adam, that was a great throw right there. And let me just say, too, the last drives that we had, we've been talking about the quarterback and the receivers. Hey, that offensive line, how much time does it take to pump someone and still be able to get the ball off? You have to have a lot of time back there. That offensive line did a great job right there. There's the fake. Everyone bit. They froze. Sneaks him in the seam and take it to the house.
After the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct on the scoring team, number 2. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the succeeding kickoff.
Well, I don't know quite what to say about that. You have, a little extra. Clearly,
That
coach
is number
was not
2's
happy
first
about that.
unsportsmanlike conduct foul
get
of the
caught
game.
up in the moment. You go to the stands. You give someone a high five, and of course that draws a penalty.
Can't do much anymore. That's for sure, especially in the college game. Dylan Brown has been money on extra points today. No field goal attempts for either team, and he is right through the guts. Danny, these numbers, these are spectacular. 34 of 49 for 402, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. If Tyler Rogers had not been the quarterback the last 2 years, we would have been checking for records, but we know Tyler's thrown for 450 plus. I mean, this kid's special.
That's phenomenal. And you know, the receivers were good. Everyone was good, like we're talking about. You go to the offensive line, lots of time. Those plays take a long time to develop, and so they had lots of time. So good time, good throw. Josh makes a good throw in there and a nice catch. And it's amazing. You know, Coach Martin said, you're going to start to see some good stuff. I can feel it. I can tell. And he was right. And that was awesome. And here it is right there. There's the pump. He released it up in the seam because everyone froze. And O.J. Clark just takes it to the house. And then maybe a little extra, which Coach, I'm sure we'll talk to him about later.
I think that's one of those penalties that could help ticket sales.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to come to a game and get a high five from O.J. Clark. I think Mario Mocha will approve of that penalty. That'll help.
He'll only approve if we win, right? So if he doesn't win, it's like, oh, no, that's not good.
What a night. 42-28 Aggies. Josh Atkins having a career game in just his second collegiate start. First kick in a while that's been returnable for Liberty.
You know, this is why Coach was so upset, because we haven't been so stellar on our punt coverage and our kick coverage. So here, you had to make sure that didn't turn into a complete disaster and you don't just exchange scores with them.
You want to get better, Danny, week to week, but you really, really want to get better when you have an open week, and it seems like the Aggies have done that.
Right. I agree. I think they have. I think they've stepped it up. Liberty is a good team. That is a solid team. It's a good, well-coached team by Coach Gill here.
Liberty had a 52-10 win against Old Dominion in Week 1. Old Dominion 2 weeks ago beat number 13 Virginia Tech. Liberty also beat UNM on the road last week. Losses to Army in North Texas. Big run on first down for Frankie Hickson, who's had a pretty good day out of the backfield for Turner Gill's bunch.
Yeah, you know, that power run to the left there. He had lots of blockers up in front, and there's just nothing the Aggies can do and just try to dig your hand in there and try to get that secondary to make a tackle.
Liberty without number 1 running back in Torrey Matthews, who has missed 2.5 games now with a lower body injury, so Hickson's had the bulk of the carries today. That pass whistles by the shoulders of the intended receiver, Antonio Gandy Golden, the junior from Georgia.
You know what's interesting, Adam, is that I think Golden was open, and I think they could hit him, but he got rushed a little bit in their buckshot, and I don't know that anyone was there, but that's what happens when you put so much pressure on a quarterback. You start to look around and say, I know he's right there. I know Roy Lopez is just right around the corner, and he gets rid of it too quick.
Running back is Pickett. 4 receiver sets. Calvert will change the play call. Calvert today, 22 of 37, 269, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Slant route caught by the tight end. That's Zach Fouts on a slant.
You know, they're going to have to score some points here in a hurry. I mean, well, they're still within striking distance, but certainly they're still spreading it wide open. And so I think the running part, they've just given up on a bit and just said, let's just spread it out, and we'll go wide all the way and just get it quickly to someone.
Fouts got 11 on the previous play. Now to the ground to Pickett, who lowers his head into Javon Ferguson and Leon McQuaker to get 5 yards. Second down and 5 for Liberty. Clock moving. 13 and a quarter left in the fourth. The Aggies ahead by a pair of touchdowns.
This is when it gets hard. When you're on defense, you get tired right about this time, and you just got to dig down. I mean, you got to just give it everything.
The Aggies showing blitz from the edge where Billy Knipp is at. So Calvert will take his time again. Clock's moving, though, as we approach 13 minutes left. Billy Knipp will stay at home, so they swing it out right side. DJ Stubbs on the catch. Wow. Dragged out of bounds by LaForce and McQuaker.
You know, that's a great play by the Aggies right there, because if you get that block on the point, he's off with 10 yards easy. But lots of pressure there. There's a lot of thinking going on both sides, isn't there, Adam? A lot of coaches are thinking, okay, I think I say left, he goes right, I go right. Okay, now I got to think about this a bit here.
This could be 4-down territory, you would have to think, for Liberty. It's 3rd down and 2 right now.
Yep, I agree.
They need the 22-yard line. They're going to pass it to Gandy Golden, who gets to the 22 and some more. Down to the 20.
You know, DeMarcus Owens saw that thing happening the whole time, and there was a block on him, and he was trying to bust through that block, and he just couldn't get there. And you can see it gets it out of his hands quickly. There's DeMarcus Owens trying to get rid of that block and make the play behind the line of scrimmage, and he just couldn't do it.
Gandy Golden got 4. 4 catches now for 77 yards for the big man from Dallas, Georgia. Pistol look with Pickett behind the quarterback. Buckshot Calvert. Stretch handoff to Pickett to the sideline, and he's taken down by Ray Buford Jr. Late to the party was Roy Lopez.
How about Roy Lopez coming from the 3 technique down the line of scrimmage and just chases it from the back to help out with that tackle? He is everywhere. He is determined. There he is coming in on 3 technique. He has to go flat, straight down the line of scrimmage. He got around him just to the hair, but he still helps out.
They fake the handoff. Calvert still has it. The Aggies don't even know it. Shane Jackson late to get over there. He might have been held, though. We will see. Flag is down near where Jackson was, trying to show some pressure on Calvert.
You know, it was a different play. He wasn't sure if he was going to run it or not. You kind of, when you're in coverage, you don't know whether to stay back and wait or go get him. You get caught in this no man's land.
Holding. Defense, number 28.
Wow, it's holding on
Foul
Shane
will be
Jackson. I
assessed
thought
from
he
the
was
previous
held
spot
because he
after
was so late
distance
to
the
get
goal.
there.
Repeat for automatic first down.
Yeah, you know, maybe he was just trying to get out and Shane was just trying to hold him while he was trying to get in there. I'm not sure because I didn't see it all, but let's see if we can look here.
Hard to tell, isn't it, Danny?
Yeah, it's tough. But they called it. And there we go.
From the 7-yard line, 1st down and goal for Liberty. Angling back to his left is Pickett. 5'10", 210, redshirt sophomore from Arlington, Texas. Same hometown as Aggie running back Jason Huntley. Only gets 1 yard on the play. 2nd down and goal from the 6. To the end zone, incomplete. Out of the reach of Gandy Golden.
I think everyone saw it happening, right? So Ray was over there on coverage. Buford, he had coverage. Ron LaForce came screaming over to see if he can help, and it was just going to be a jump ball, 50-50 balls that they call it right there. Get it up in the air. Just wasn't up high enough.
3rd down and goal for the 6. Liberty 5 of 13 on 3rd down today. They're 2 of 2, though, in the red zone. The Aggies 4 of 4 in the red zone tonight. Rolling left, Calvert. Whistles a pass. That is caught. Or was it? B.J. Farrow right there. Yeah, he caught it inside the 1.
Well, that was a great throw and a great catch right there. DeMarcus Owens on coverage. Great coverage. He's right on top of it. And
Really on the field is a completed catch
when a player
just short of the
comes
goal
back
line.
to the
4th down.
ball like this, it makes it very hard on the... Let's see what happens here. DeMarcus Owens' hands in there as well.
So, Danny, it's 4th and goal with inches to go. No brainer. They're going to go for it, of course.
Yeah, right.
They do have a big fullback.
Timeout.
Mitchell Lewis is 6'2", 230, but he does not have a carry this year.
Their first of the half.
And a timeout
This
is
is a
called.
30-second timeout.
No,
30
back on that
seconds.
play, that's tough. DeMarcus Owens is all over him. That's just great coverage, too, and he makes a fantastic catch.
We talked during the open, and we talked a lot in the first half about being physical, and Doug Martin wanted his team to be more physical, especially on offense. Here's a good moment right here where it comes down to who's going to be more physical when it's 4th and goal with inches to go.
Yep. And it's tough when it's down there and it's inches. So you got to really, shove every gap. You got to plug every gap, but you also got to look for the play action over top. So backers got to see if there's a gap that's being plugged and it's just a play action and they pull it out. You got to be looking for receivers. There's a lot going on. And that man right there, Coach Spaziani, who's our defensive coordinator, has been coaching a long time and he has seen a lot of these things. So let's see if he can get something going.
Adam Young, Danny Nee with you. Anthony Casals is doing a great job as our talent stats man up here as always. Great to have you with us. What a football game this has been.
It's been a great game.
42-28. 4th and goal, inches to go. Look at this formation. Smash mouth football on 4th and goal. No signal yet from our line judge. Now they signal touchdown. And we'll try to figure out who had the football. You had Pickett in there, you had Lewis in there, and it could have been the quarterback on the sneak. So Liberty comes within a score as they make it an 8-point game with the point after coming.
Wow, that's a tough one right there. Was that Buckshot carrying the ball?
It was. 1 yard. Touchdown run, the second today for Calvert, who came in with none.
In that rugby formation.
Point after good for Aaron Pearce. So Liberty able to edge a little closer. 42-35 is our score. 11 plays, 63 yards, but it took 4:02. And it results in the second rushing touchdown today and the second rushing touchdown this year for Stephen Buckshot Calvert. One score game in Las Cruces. (42-35) the score and homecoming here in Las Cruces at Aggie Memorial Stadium. Well, the connection between Doug Martin and Turner Gill, not the only connection that we're going to talk about tonight. Let's go back to 1982. A young Danny Nee playing football for the Aggies. And Danny, you're going up against Turner Gill and the Nebraska Cornhuskers, ranked number 1 in the country. What do you remember about that game?
I know that there was a lot of tackles I was involved in because that was a huge team we had with Mike Rozier at Dave Remington at center. It was one tough game, and it was a great battle. Fortunately, we didn't come out on top. That man right there was a very good stud. He was an athlete and a half, and he was just very good.
Turner Gill was a Heisman finalist that year. The next year, Danny, you guys go and beat Iowa State.
We had a couple wins in there, too. We snuck in a couple as well, right? But we got a hot one tonight, for sure.
Good stuff. Danny Nee, Turner Gill, mano a mano. Danny's the brains of the operation up there, can't tell. Touchback, and the Aggies will start at the 25-yard line. 10:24 left here in the fourth. We've seen no signs of leveling off for that man, number 14 in crimson, only a redshirt freshman. Out of Spring Branch, Texas, Josh Atkins. Went to Smithson Valley High School, 6'2", 218. Making only his second collegiate start, but he's trying to go to 2-0 in his 2 starts. He's already thrown for over 400 yards. 402 for Atkins through the air. Going deep again, he has Jonathan Boone right behind him. No flags thrown. The Aggies really wanted a flag down there on the sideline.
I'm not sure why they didn't throw one either. It seemed like, I'm not sure. Clearly, Coach Martin was down there, so now they got the coverage, or got the coverage that they were looking for. So now let's just bomb it away and let it go. There's the ball right there. You got to make a play for it. Maybe they were thinking he didn't make a play for it.
Christian Gibson with a good run near the first down marker. He's going to be 1 yard shy. It's a pickup of 9 yards on second down. 3rd down and 1 coming up.
It's a big one, big right here, big first down.
Gibson has been a little more quiet today. Bounces off one defender, and he's in a fight for the first down. Gibson across midfield. Christian Gibson to the 20. The senior has a touchdown, his second tonight.
Great call, Adam. I thought you were going to say he was down, but you kept it alive. He bounced out. That kind of looked like the run at UTEP, didn't it? That was just a fantastic run where he didn't die. They needed 1 yard. That's it, right? So there he is. They're going to dive it up in there. Boom. Nothing. Jammed up. Look at Josh getting a block in there. Breaks to the outside and just takes it to the house. Wow. I don't know what else to say.
I think a lot of credit right there, too, goes to the strength program that Don Decker has going on here at New Mexico State. Gibson, 6'1", 210, all muscle, big guy. Came into this game with no touchdowns in his career. Began his Aggie career as a defensive back. Switched to running back last year. Played seldomly, and now he's having a monster role during his senior year. Aggies back ahead by 14. What a story this is turning out to be. Not just Josh Atkins, but also Christian Gibson. Here tonight, 9 carries, 113 after the 66-yard touchdown scamper to put the Aggies ahead by 2 touchdowns. So the last 2 games now for Christian Gibson, he has combined for 19 carries, and he had 103 last game. He has 113 today. My math isn't great, but that is 216 yards in 2 games, so that's pretty good.
That's incredible. Hey, not only that, for his reward, he gets to go out on kick coverage.
Mm-hmm. Double duty, right?
Yeah, like, get off the bench. You're not done yet. Get out there and help us. That's a great job.
And that was the biggest role he played the last couple of years, was being on special teams. Now he has a big role in this offense as Dylan Brown boots it through the end zone. 9:44 left in the fourth quarter. This lead doesn't feel safe, but with the way the defense has played today, the way the offense has responded, if you're an Aggie fan, you can feel pretty comfortable. Not all the way comfortable, but pretty comfortable.
Well, I would be more comfortable, Adam, if it was closer to like 4:44, but 9:44. They've marched down there, and so there's a lot of time left. So this should be very interesting. Now, McQuaker's having a heck of a game. He's leading tackler right now with 11 tackles. Let's see if we can't draw up something where he gets in there and gets a few more.
Stephen Buckshot Calvert will throw on first down. Shane Jackson was there on the pressure. Antonio Gandy Golden makes the reception for the Flames. So how about some of these scoring drives today for the Aggies? 1 minute and 11 seconds, 1 minute and 51 seconds, 1 minute and 13 seconds, 1 minute and 51 seconds, 1 minute, then 59 seconds, then 40 seconds. Doing it in a hurry. To the near side of the field, incomplete. Looking for Fidel Obefun, the backup tight end.
You know, that's the pressure that they've been dialing up, and that's one of those things where when you're pulling pressure and you're getting lots of guys coming in with stunts and different packages, it leaves you in man coverage. So the defensive backs, they have to play very tough. They have to step it up and keep it going. Shamad Lomax right there, having a heck of a game. That secondary, Demarcus Owens, we've talked about him quite a bit before. It's been all over the place. We need those guys to continue to step up.
Calvert on second down and 10. Stretch handoff to Hickson near the first down marker. We really haven't talked much about the defensive backs today, which can sometimes be a good thing because that means they're not getting beat, and we're not talking about that.
Yeah. A little stretch play right here, and this is where they just tie everyone up front. Deshante Lloyd, haven't called him as much, but let's see if he can't help out in some of these stops. But you're right, Adam. I think it's important that your secondary, plays very strong because they have some great receivers, and so they're going to be challenged in this last part of this fourth quarter as well.
Liberty does have all 3 timeouts remaining. Just 1 timeout left for the Aggies. A first down picked up there by the Flames. They're approaching Aggie territory. Clock moving, though. Under 9 left in the game. Calvert's nailed as he throws. Incomplete. He was hit by Leon McQuaker. The Arizona Bowl defensive MVP last year.
Wow, that was a great blitz right there. That's a little pump action, so they're trying to do kind of similar plays that the Aggies have scored on. Not like them, but they have their own, right? So they have a little pump action, and what happens is you're going to jump some of these quick outs, and so there it is right here. We're going to pump that and then try to throw it downfield. There's nothing there. He looks for the little look-down relief pass to the side there, but there's just too much pressure on him.
The Aggies will blitz with 5 guys. Calvert airing it out down the field, incomplete. Komote Kofi was out there, so was Ron LaForce. Double coverage for the Aggies on Antonio Gandy-Golden.
Yeah, Kofi has had some great coverage there on Gandy as well. LaForce all over the place, leading tackler.
Big play in this game right here. 3rd down, 10 to go for Liberty. They need the Aggie 44. Across the middle, caught.
Wow.
Snow cone grab by Gandy-Golden. What a catch again. He stays on his feet. He's 6'4", 220, so he's not easy to take down. Finally drops to the turf.
He's a hard one to bring down, but you have to hang on. You just can't let him spin out of your grasp there. And this was just right over the tip of someone there, and right across the middle there was that Javon Ferguson, not quite there. But Billy Knipp's got to hang on to that ball, hang on to that tackle. He just kept spinning and going.
Gandy-Golden finds 18 yards in the pass and catch from Buckshot Calvert. Clock moving, under 8 left in the 4th. Back to the turf on the ground for Pickett. And he's clobbered from behind by Jackson Solbeck. The tight end turned defensive tackle.
It's good that we have get someone else in there and get involved in there, and Jackson's all over that thing, pushing through there. Big body, trying to fight through a couple double teams and make a tackle there. It was a great job.
Tackle number 7 this year for the senior from Houston. First year on the D-line for him after serving as an Aggie backup tight end the previous 3 years. Running back is Frankie Hickson. Calvert steps up, swarmed, taken down. Roy Lopez with a sack.
I'd like to say I'm surprised that, he's going to give us a little dance in there too. I kind of like it. I'm going to say I'd like to say I'm surprised. What was that?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
He's sharing a little loving for everyone. It's the College of Charisma right there helping you. Roy Lopez on the sack. Little dance. Feeling good. Going to spread some loving around here. Oops, I'm sorry. My bad. Give me one. You're all right.
This Aggie defense playing with energy, charisma, as Danny mentioned, and confidence as well. 3rd down and a mile. Pressure shown. Dump off to Gandy-Golden. And he's tripped up by Javon Ferguson, well short of the 1st down. So what do you do here if you're Liberty?
Hey, I think you got to keep going. I think you just keep going.
Yeah, 4th and 7.
Yeah, I think you just go for it, right? Because you're in a position or territory right now where you're going to think about it.
Timeout.
Timeout is
Liberty,
called.
this is their
4th and
first timeout
7
of the half.
after the
it's
timeout.
It's a 30-second timeout. 30 seconds.
I'm with you,
anyway.
Danny. What else can you really do here? You can't kick a field goal, and I say you can't because it would be a 50-yarder. The long this year for Aaron Peart is only 22, so 50 is not really Peart's range, or at least it doesn't appear that way. And you're down 14, and you're running low on time here.
Yeah, it's getting tough, right? So we did have Anthony did pass me a stat here that says we have 4 sacks for 26 yards, but that's good, and you got to keep it coming. But all it takes is 1 or 2 big plays down the line here, and they're back in this thing. So you can't rest, and it's 6 minutes, so there's plenty of time.
So that's 12 sacks now in the previous 2 games and 18 total this year. The Aggies had just over 40 a year ago, which was top 3 in the country. This might be the game right here.
All right, here we go.
4th down and 7. Buckshot Calvert, the quarterback. Pickett, the running back. 2 receivers on the far side, 2 on the near side of your screen. Calvert across the middle, and it's caught by Stubbs. First and goal for Liberty.
Wow, that's just a nice throw, nice catch right there in coverage. We had everyone in the right position, but he just threaded that ball in there. Lots of pressure on Buckshot, but he's managed to just stay back in there and get rid of that ball quickly right across the middle.
Danny, that's a really, really good ball. That's a heck of a throw.
Right over Billy Knipp's hand.
That is a heck of a throw by Calvert, who was right on target. First and goal from the 6. Liberty trying to stay alive and make this a 1-touchdown game. To the ground for Peyton Pickett, the 5'10", 210-pound redshirt sophomore back. Pickett gets 3, down to the 3. Second and goal. Pickett again veers back to his left and looks like he may be short. No signal yet. And yeah, he's going to be just short. Billy Knipp, slow to get up there in the Aggie linebacker core.
So that's where you just line up. You know where they're coming, right? So you do got to play tough run for the Pickett right up the middle, but you also got to look for Buckshot pulling that ball out and taking it around the end. But first, you've got to stop that run.
From the 1-yard line, straight up the guts. Easy run in for Pickett. His 5th touchdown this year, his 3rd in the previous 2 games. Had a pair last week at UNM. And Liberty just won't go away. 4:53 remaining, and it's an 8-point game with the extra point coming up.
Yeah, you know, just low pads. Everyone's starting to get a little tired in there, but low pads wins, breaks up a big hole, and just walks on in.
Oh, blocked. That's huge.
No.
That is huge. Aaron Peart has the point after swatted away.
Wow.
Well, now it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion for Liberty to tie it. If you think those extra points are a sure thing, you're wrong. Blocked away. Special teams comes up huge for the Aggies. 8-point game in Las Cruces. Special teams comes through for the Aggies after a 1-yard touchdown run by Pickett, the second 1-yard touchdown run in this quarter for Liberty. But it's a 49-41 game instead of 49-42 because of this blocked extra points. Look at that hang time. That's Cedric Wilcox doing his best LeBron James impression, I guess you can say. I mean, just leaping vertically and blocking it.
It sure helps that you have great reach or great extension on those arms or the wingspan and be able to reach up there and knock that down. And Cedric's having a good game too. He's got 1.5 sacks as well, so he's doing quite well. He's playing well all around. Great pressure.
Royce Caldwell is near his own end zone. He was not returning kicks earlier, but he's back there now, along with Jason Huntley. Peart will boot it away, so no onside kick or anything like that for Liberty with 4 and change left. Plenty of time left for the Flames. Taken out by Huntley, who's across the 20 near the 25. They'll mark him at the 24.
That's a good return. You know, I have this debate with both my boys. It's like, when you get those and you get this part of the game, do you take them out or do you just sit and wait? And, of course, I'm like, no, they should sit. And they're more of a, no, you got to take it out.
The gamble.
Because he can break it, and you'll never know. It's like, all right, fair enough. You never know.
The knee boys are rolling the dice. First and 10 from the 24-yard line. Need to be careful here, too, Danny, to not try to be too conservative with a decent amount of clock left.
Right. Yeah, it's 4:47, so there's plenty of time. You know, you got to run that 4-minute offense. You got to get down there, but you have to chew the clock and get the first downs to keep it going.
Last game against UTEP, Josh Atkins engineered a 5-minute drive late that led to a field goal to extend the Aggie lead to 7. It was a 13-play, 75-yard drive that helped the Aggies beat UTEP 27-20. And that's a good start, a good pickup on first down for the Aggies on the ground from Christian Gibson.
And you know what I like about that run, Adam, is that when he took the ball, there was some yardage in there. He got the yardage, and then he took care of the ball. He got 2 hands on it to make sure he secures it and he doesn't put it on the carpet.
Second down and a long 3 yards for the Aggies. A pistol look. The pistol back is Gibson. So the big carries late are in the hands of Gibson, who picks up a first down, and that'll move the chains. Did we expect this when the season started? The big carries would come from Gibson?
No, we did not see this happening. And I didn't see Aggs posting 49 tonight. I wasn't sure what to expect, but they have it all coming together, and now it's just pounded in there. Use the clock. Keep it going. Tick, tick, tick.
2 timeouts left for the Flames, 1 left for the Aggies. It's under 4 left. Running it back to the left of the quarterback Atkins is Gibson. Backup tight end Xander Yarbrough is in the game to lead block. Gibson pinballs off a defender near the 45-yard line, and a flag is down in the backfield.
Holding, offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still,
and it's a holding call on starting center Jamin Smith.
Oh, that's too bad. That one hurt. Let's see what happens in there. See him right to the right of your screen there. Kind of jumps out of the screen. Don't see it, but... Oh, there it is. Pulling on the jersey.
So this will push the Aggies back 10 yards, and it makes it first down and 20 as they replay the down. Atkins pulls it and runs. Big pickup for Josh Atkins. How about that?
I'm just amazed. I'm totally amazed. But you know, earlier you talked about a winner and figuring out what to do. Here's what a winner does. You get down there, you get the ball.
Liberty,
you know they see you, and instead of going back into that, you break to the outside to pick up extra yardage, then take care of the football. He's doing a great job. He's doing everything he can to make this happen. Great
Atkins
game.
Gets
Great
20
game.
to give the Aggies a first down and to prompt a timeout as well from Liberty. So just 1 timeout remaining for the Flames as Doug Martin talks things over with his offense and his signal caller, Josh Atkins. Here's a look at the upcoming games. Troy will head to Lynchburg next weekend, and then Idaho State and UMass for the Flames. UMass is also independent. What do you see here, Danny, with this Aggie schedule? Louisiana, Georgia Southern, then Texas State.
Well, I think we got to get past this one, but you mentioned it early on, and I do think these are games that are winnable games for the Aggies. Now, Georgia Southern is playing very tough. Mm-hmm. They're playing very tough. Louisiana can always be tough because you got to go there, but you have to go, and you're going to have to grab one of these games somewhere. Texas State, you should be able to get that one, but those 3, you should try to collect those for sure. But for tonight, let's get this one.
Fresh set of downs for Doug Martin's offense. Couple there for Gibson. Gibson now has 12 carries for 126 yards. He gets 3. It's going to be second down and 7.
Liberty, this is their third and final
timeout again for Liberty. So they've used them now. 3:07 remaining. And it's an 8-point game, so Liberty would need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. But the Aggies are on offense here in the final 3 minutes.
So you need this first down. So it's important that you keep moving and you collect those first downs. And so running the ball, you've got positive yards running the ball. You got to make sure you take care of it. But also Liberty knows that, hey, you're going to be running the ball, so they're going to stuff the box and try to say, no, if you're going to do it, you have to try to do something squirrely to try to get us. And I don't know if you're willing to gamble. So now you're a gambler or not a gambler. I don't know. Coach Martin, he's had some gambles tonight that's paid off.
Aggies and Flames will meet again later this year. And earlier this week, Doug Martin talked about playing Liberty twice in 2018.
I do think the second game, there's going to be a lot more on the coaches as far as the game plan and how to prepare for that game, and what do you want to change from game 1 to game 2, and what are you going to leave alone and hang your hat on.
Tackle made there by Elijah Benton. So it's going to be 3rd and 5 yards for the Aggies with the clock moving, and Liberty cannot stop it. Out of timeouts here in the 4th quarter.
It's a big call right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked about that they're going to stack the box. They did. They knew we were going to run, shut it down. So now you got a 3rd and 5. You know, you've living by Josh's arm so far. So do you ride it all the way? Clearly, the open set backfield.
5 wideouts for the Aggies on 3rd down and 5 yards. Atkins fires, incomplete. Not on the same page as Drew Dan. Drew was thinking one thing, Josh was thinking another, and the Aggies will have to punt it away with 2:17 remaining. And we'll see a 2-minute drill here from Stephen Buckshot Calvert in the Flames offense with no timeouts.
Yeah, that's tough right there. You know, I would have liked to have seen them on at least the same page to see if they could complete that pass. And so this one you have Dan coming in and Josh thinking he's going to go out, and he just dumps it out and wasn't there.
Liberty continues to switch punt return men. This is B.J. Farrow, and it's going to be a long way to go for Liberty. They're going to be at the 13-yard line. So they have 87 yards to go, Danny. 2 minutes and 10 seconds, but they have a really good quarterback to do it here.
Yeah, you know, and when they picked up on the last few drives, Adam, they've had big chunk plays where you're picking up 20, 25 yards. That's what makes it tough, right? So, yes, they got a long way to go, but they've managed to really open up some big plays. So now you got to make them earn everything. You got to play back. Don't give them a quick, easy one, but you can't just sit too far back.
Liberty trying to improve to 3-2. The Aggies are looking for their 2nd straight win and go to 2-4. Calvert has his pass batted away. Wilcox dropping back in coverage to bat it away.
You know, Coach Spaziani just comes up with great defenses. He just dials up. He's up on the line of scrimmage, and then as soon as the snap is snapped, he comes backwards and puts that big paw up there and knocks that out of the air.
That might be one of his greatest attributes, too, is his length at 6'4", 245. The redshirt junior from Dallas. 2nd down, pressure came, dumped off to Pickett. Pickett across the 15, brought down from behind by defensive end Josavia Reese. 9-yard connection, and it's going to be 3rd and 1 for Liberty. And the first down is had there by Pickett. Clock is not the friend of Liberty right now.
You know, and if you're in the secondary, we talked about the secondary. This is where you want to make sure that you stop anything short, and you want to come support, but you got to make sure you don't let anyone sneak behind you, because one of these times is one where they'd want to take a shot downfield.
First down and 10 for Liberty. Pump fake and a throw by Calvert, and the pass is caught on the far sideline. Now they're going to say it's incomplete. Might have been juggling that one, and it was intended for Fidel Obefun, the sophomore from Douglasville, Georgia.
2nd down.
How about that throw, though? Right over the linebacker and just drops it in there. It just happens to be out of bounds there. But a little bit of pressure, but still drops in. That's a nice pass. I don't know if that's over. Looks like Billy Knipp.
The ruling of an incomplete pass on the previous play is under further review.
And the play is under review, so they're going to check to see if it was a catch or no catch.
Minute 16. This is. I wasn't sure what was going to happen in terms of, you know, was it going to be high scoring, low scoring? There's a lot of things that could happen, right? A lot of question marks. Is Josh going to play a good game, not play so well? Is he going to, you know, what's going to? I did not see this happening. 49-41. How about you, Adam?
I didn't either, and honestly, we talked about at the end of the first quarter how well the defenses were playing. We were deadlocked at 7. Then in the second quarter, some things changed on offense for the Aggies, and at times, this Liberty offense has been able to get things rolling as well.
So let's take a look here and see what we see.
Clearly his feet are in. I guess the only question is, does he have full control and is he bobbling?
By the way, that's great camera work right there.
Mm-hmm. Outstanding job as always by our crew. Vinny Conway is our director. Jared Calvert is our producer tonight. Adam Young, Danny Nee with you. Talent Stats is Anthony Casals up here in the booth with us. This has been an exciting one. If you left the football field today, I don't know why you left, because this one has been pretty tight all throughout. Now the call on the field is incomplete, so it has to be conclusive to overturn the original call. Do they have enough evidence to overturn it and turn this into a catch?
After further review, the ruling of an incomplete pass stands. It's an incomplete pass,
well, there you
second
go.
down.
I guess there wasn't enough evidence in there.
Turner, Gill, and Liberty trying to march down the field and get within 2 and then try to convert a 2-point conversion as well. They need 8 points. Their last touchdown resulted in a blocked extra point by Cedric Wilcox. 2nd down and 10. For the edge, here comes Billy Knipp.
Wow.
A sack for Jasavia Reese.
You know, we talked about not calling his name too much. He told us about Reese, and here he is coming back. And if we've ever needed to lean on someone, there he is, comes screaming in, right up the middle. You see him in the middle of your screen, gets right past his block, no problem, and gets the sack. That's the one thing they couldn't have.
3rd down and 20. Downfield, Calvert, incomplete. Looking for Gandy Golden. Guess who's right there? Owens, DeMarcus Owens, who had a pick earlier. Here's the ball game.
Good coverage.
45 seconds left, 4th and 20.
Fourth and 20. This is it.
Line to gain is the 36 for Liberty. They're currently at the 16. Calvert rolling right. He'll zip a pass downfield, batted away. And that was DeMarcus Owens again.
DeMarcus Owens saw that the whole time. I could see him as soon as he let that ball up. He released off his receiver that he was covering and came in to support and just knocked it down. That's a great play. What a huddling about there. Was there something? I don't see a flag or anything.
Yeah, I don't see a flag down. Roy Lopez is speaking to one of the officials.
Offense number 12. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is an incomplete
There's
pass.
a penalty on Buckshot Calvert, the quarterback, after
Mexico State.
the play.
Wow.
Doesn't matter. It's declined. And with 34 seconds left, the Aggies are going to win this football game, Danny Nee. This is a big win.
This is a very big win. This is a good team. I mean, you know, this is not a walk in the park. This is one you had to work very hard to come away with. That guy right there, Josh Atkins, played one heck of a game, one whale of a game.
And Doug Martin said numerous times this week at the coaches show and also at the press conference on Tuesday, not many people around here know much about Liberty as a football program, but this is a darn good football program with a lot of resources.
So it's a 5-yard penalty, still goes over on downs, 1st down.
Penalty is called on Liberty, which gives the Aggies an additional 5 yards, which doesn't change much here.
So, Adam, the second game we talked about in the open where you're going to be up against Liberty, how exciting will that game be?
That's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah.
And if the Aggies continue on this trend, it's going to be a really, really big football game in the regular season finale on November 24th in Lynchburg, Virginia. The first ever meeting between the Aggies and the Flames goes the way of the Aggies here in Las Cruces. First of 4 meetings in 2 years between the two programs. And we saw a young redshirt freshman quarterback, Josh Atkins, really grew up right before our eyes here tonight.
Yeah, it's nice to see Coach Gill out there congratulating everyone. And you know, Coach Martin, during the press conferences and every time anyone talked to him, talked about Coach Gill and what a great man he is. And so not only on the field but off the field. So I think that's a testament to what he's got going on there.
We'll catch you up with Coach here in a moment. After this 49-41 final score, the Aggies total 573 yards of offense. Josh Atkins threw for 402. Gibson runs for 127. Every receiver who was in uniform, it seemed like, had a catch, at least one, led by O.J. Clark with 10 for 145. This was a total team effort, Danny. A lot of guys did some things here tonight.
Yeah, and when I was speaking with Corey Martin, like I talked about earlier, and Corey said, you know, you're going to see a lot of guys. It's going to be coming together, and we did see a lot of guys, including tight ends. We saw everyone.
The Aggies led 21-7. There was a penalty for roughing the kicker late in the first half that helped the Flames get a late touchdown to make it 21-14. Then the Flames scored early in the third quarter to make it 21-21. And every time the Aggies got punched, they punched right back. And that was a good thing to see tonight, that response that we saw all evening.
You know, Coach was looking for a physical game, and I think he got one. I think he's, you know, you practice like you play, and certainly they played very physical tonight.
Looks like we have Coach on the field with us. Coach, Adam Young, Danny Nee with you. This is a big win. You guys were very good in a lot of different areas tonight.
Well, I think the biggest thing is we got healthy offensively. You know, we started playing Aggie football offensively, and I think Josh grew up as a quarterback a lot tonight, and it's good to see us start scoring points again like we used to.
Hey, Coach Danny Nee, that defense second half came out and was stellar again. Pitched a great second half. Fantastic defensive line front, but your defensive backs, great job.
Yeah, you know, we held in there, Danny. You know, we got giving up so many big plays, and we gave up some third downs that, you know, we got to get off the field a little bit better. But, you know, Liberty's quarterback is a really good player, too. He put some balls in some tight spots tonight.
Coach, this Christian Gibson story is turning out to be a pretty good one.
You know, he's what all these kids across the country ought to look like. You know, you hear all these kids that are transferring because they're not getting to play. And, you know, Christian Gibson sat around here for 3 years, battling, fighting, changed positions, just kept working. And that's what happens when you stay the course like he has. You get rewarded. And I couldn't be happier for him.
Finally, Coach, you mentioned that Josh Atkins grew up tonight. His numbers were fantastic. What did you see from Josh in particular tonight?
Well, he made great decisions. He handled the pressures really well. Because the one touchdown pass he threw was a blitz. He threw a hot read there, and he checked us in and out of plays all night. And he doesn't turn the ball over, you know. And he runs a little bit better than what most people give him credit for too. So, you know, he's got a bright future. There's going to be a lot of good football ahead with him here leading our program.
Coach, thank you so much. Enjoy this one tonight.
Okay,
congratulations.
That's head coach Doug Martin. The Aggies go to 2-4, and we'll talk about this during our postgame show. This is an identical record to where the Aggies were last year during the Bowl Championship season through 6 games. Big win against Liberty. Boy, was Atkins good. Postgame comes your way next. Big win for the Aggies here tonight against Liberty in the first of 4 meetings in 2 years between the two programs. The Aggies win 49-41. A nice homecoming here at Aggie Memorial Stadium. 2 straight wins now for the Aggies. Do not forget, Aggie men's basketball is right around the corner. Season tickets are on sale now. The WAC champs last year, both in the regular season and in the postseason. For season tickets, 575-646-1420, or you can also visit the Pan American Center ticket office. Adam Young, Danny Nee with you. Boy, was this a fun one to call here tonight as the Aggies prevail against Liberty, 49-41, the final score. Thanks for joining us for this one. This was a fun one, Danny.
This was a fun one. Like we talked about during the broadcast, I didn't see this coming. I just didn't see this happening, but I saw some fantastic things by New Mexico State. Some things didn't go right, and they came back and didn't let that dictate how they played the rest of the game, and were just very positive the rest of the game.
Let's take a look at the highlights. Things did not go right early for the Aggies. It was just 2 minutes into this football game when Liberty marched down the field in the first 2 minutes and 17 seconds. 9 plays, 80 yards, a long touchdown run of 22 yards for Hickson to get the Flames off to a good start. But the Aggie defense showed up big time, and Roy Lopez here with the fumble recovery.
We couldn't say enough about Roy Lopez, and later he shows a school of charisma.
What a game for Christian Gibson. That was a touchdown run of 1 yard for Christian, his first career, but he was not done yet. Great game by Josh Atkins, throws for 400-plus yards, a strike to Anthony Muse, and here's Jason Huntley. The Aggies have a number of different backs they can use, and they used them all tonight.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be difficult for teams to defend later on in the season.
Stephen Buckshot Calvert is a good one. He goes high to Antonio Gandy Golden for a touchdown, and we head to the third quarter. It was 21-14 Aggies at halftime. Here's a touchdown run of just 1 yard by Calvert, the quarterback. That made it 21-21. Drew Dant was wide open on that play right there. Later, an interception for DeMarcus Owens, a big one at that juncture.
Yeah, that was tough one right there, and they just kept climbing back in and just exchanging blows like you talked about, blow for blow.
We go to the fourth. The Aggies had a 35-28 lead, and this was a big play as O.J. Clark connects with the quarterback, Josh Atkins.
O.J. Clark had a great night. Lots of catches, very hard, very disciplined, and physical running.
And this was a 66-yard touchdown run by Gibson. A little later, Pickett runs it in, but the Aggies blocked the extra point. That was Cedric Wilcox who batted it away. So 49-41 was the final score as the Aggies were able to hang on in the end. The defense gives up 41, Danny, but they got some takeaways, and it felt like they played a pretty good football game.
Yeah, it didn't feel like 41, but they played very hard. They played very tough. They kept the offense in there. But this game, the difference is that the offense came to play, without a doubt.
Let's take a look at the Whataburger play of the game. Christian Gibson had no career touchdown runs before this one tonight. He had a pair, and this one could have been a loss. It turns into a 66-yard touchdown run.
Oh, that was a great play right there, and you made a great call because I thought he was down, and it's like, no, he's bouncing outside and takes it to the house. Great run, nice effort by Gibson.
Well over 100 yards on the ground for Gibson, and he was getting the big carries late for this Aggie offense. Atkins good, Gibson good, a lot of guys good on both ends for the Aggies in this 49-41 victory. A lot of offense here tonight. The Aggies almost totaled 600 yards, Danny, of total offense.
Yeah, I think that was the difference there, right? So Josh Atkins, as Coach said, he made some great calls and just got us into great positions to get a lot of yards there. So you can kind of see the numbers, just huge numbers from just 2 weeks ago.
And how about this? No turnovers on
and
offense.
No turnovers. The coach he noted that,
He
loves that. He loves that about quarterbacks.
And Josh Atkins making his second collegiate start. He hasn't thrown a pick yet as a starter at quarterback, so that's big going forward for the Aggies, who will travel to Louisiana next week. I've been wanting to say this for a while now, Danny. If the Aggies can, finish things out here, they were 2-4 through 6 games last year. Now they're 2-4 again. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they have a run at it. And as you said that before, before the game started, you talked about it, and you're a believer in it, and I'm believing too, especially after tonight's win. I'm behind you, Adam.
All right,
Let's go get it.
The schedule is favorable going forward. The Aggies at Louisiana next week, back home in a couple of weeks against Georgia Southern. Join us for our next telecast. It's going to be on Saturday, October 20th, when Georgia Southern comes to visit Aggie football. Coverage starts at 4 p.m. Tonight's broadcast was a co-production of students and staff at New Mexico State. For our entire crew, my partner Danny Nee, Adam Young saying thanks for joining us. We really enjoyed this one here tonight as the Aggies make it 2 straight wins. Final score on homecoming, 49-41. Good night from Las Cruces.